is picture perfect 4th of July. The Red Sox are home at Fenway, coming off a much-needed bounce-back win on Saturday and facing the American League's best in the Texas Rangers. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Great to have you with us here at Fenway. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner is the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, and Garen Austin will be joining us in just a moment. Eck, welcome to the second half, because this is game number 82.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the start of the season, I don't know what the expectations were, but I think the offense outlived all the expectations. That's probably one of the best in the game. The pitching leaves a little bit to be desired, but where you are 3 games out in this division with a team like Baltimore doesn't have that good of pitching either, they're going to be in this thing all the way, and they've got a chance to make a move. You know, there are a lot of home games coming up right now, and as far as the whole season is concerned, if they need the needs that they need, like pitching, they will find a way to do it, and they'll be in this thing.
Red Sox right now, if the season ended today, would be in postseason play. Ton of baseball remaining, 81 to go, and we've got the first pitch coming up in just a moment. It's an ideal day for a ball game. Red Sox entertaining the Texas Rangers on this All-American holiday. Game 1 of the series coming up from Fenway. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. The 2017 Kia Sportage. Visit anykiadealers.com to learn more. DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of your Boston Red Sox. By Subaru Retailers of New England. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. Gorgeous afternoon here on July 4th, Independence Day at Fenway Park. Dave O'Brien alongside Dennis Eckersley. Great to have you with us here as the Red Sox open up a new series against the Texas Rangers. Time for our twisted but true fact. The Red Sox scored 10 runs yesterday. It was the 9th time this season they've scored 10 or more in a game, but it was the first time they did so without hitting a home run. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Texas Rangers coming in with the best record in the American League. They are 52-31, but lately they have been scuffling just a little bit. 5-5 in their last 10, but an excellent lineup.
It really is. You talk about a team that's what, 21 games over 500, and with a starting rotation that is decimated. So it's going to get better when they get guys back, but it's not too bad right now.
The 3 top pitchers, the Red Sox will not see one of those guys in the series. And here's a look at the lineup now for Texas. It'll be Shin-Soo Choo to lead things off. He's in right field. Ian Desmond in center. Nomar Mazara is the left fielder, very talented rookie. Adrian Beltre at third base with Prince Fielder the DH. Rougned Odor at second. Jurickson Profar at first base. Elvis Andrus at the shortstop position. And Robinson Chirinos is the catcher and the number 9 hitter. The Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your New England Audi dealers. Rick Porcello coming in 9-2, an ERA of 3.78.
He is. The defense for the Red Sox brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're 10th in the league, 45 errors in 81 games. In the infield, Travis Shaw at third, Bogarts at short, Dustin Pedroia at second, Hanley Ramirez at first. In the outfield, Brock Holt, Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts and right. Behind the plate, Sandy Leon catching Rick Porcello.
Today's umpires are brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. Andy Fletcher has the balls and strikes with Joe West at first. Mark Ripperger is at second base. And Kerwin Danley is the umpire at third today. And we're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory back Toyota certified used vehicle right now. The weather is just perfect. 86 degrees. Left to right, that wind at about 12 miles per hour. Sunshine, blue sky, just the way it's supposed to be on the 4th of July. And Rick Porcello on the bump today. Under the radar a bit. He's enjoyed a really nice first half. In fact, he's unbeaten at home. He's 6-0 at Fenway.
You know, after what happened to him last year, getting knocked around like that, and it was so hard for him to pitch here in Fenway Park. They were ready to boo him at any given time. He won on the DL last year, and he's been great ever since.
He's allowed fewer hits than innings pitched. He's walked only 21 batters in 100 innings. And he ranks 5th in the American League in wins coming into today. And set for the first pitch to Shin-Soo Choo. He's a home run threat. He takes ball one and we're underway. He's hit 3 leadoff home runs this season, one of them against David Price in Arlington. 6 home runs on the year. And he looks at a strike.
Well, they've missed him because he's been out a good portion of this season. He's a good player for them. They got him last year. And last year, to me, they just came on strong. I didn't think they were going to be in the playoffs. Next thing you know, they're fighting for the pennant.
Chopper on the infield, charging at Pedroia. One fast out. And that'll send up Ian Desmond. Porcello's control has been excellent. He's allowed 0 or 1 walk in 10 of his 16 starts.
That's what was so crazy about his last start, walking 3 guys in that inning in Tampa, you know, giving up a run, then he gets out of it. Nobody out, bases loaded. That was the game. And that's pretty much what he's been doing. I mean, he makes pitches when he has to, and that's why he's 9-2.
Desmond's having an excellent season. 317, 15 homers, 52 runs batted in. The former shortstop, now a center fielder. He has gone hitless in 4 of his last 5 games. He rakes that one into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, what a year Desmond is having for them. If anybody, that's their MVP at this point in the season. And you see him off to the races with a fastball down the middle. He lets the ball travel a little bit, shoots that ball bullet to right field. This guy's hitting close to 320 right now. What a find for them to pick him up from Washington.
Now, they're not sure if he's going to hang around if there's a long-term contract with Texas, but there's going to be a long-term contract for somebody, and probably as an outfielder.
Well, I tell you what, for him to turn down the kind of money that he did was insane. But I tell you what, he's working on another payday.
Turned down $107 million in Washington. Well, here's the rookie Mazzara. Desmond has 14 stolen bases, so Porcello has to keep him close here with a lefty hitter up there.
I mean, I can't believe this guy went from shortstop to center field in a hurry.
Mazzara 287. 11 homers, 35 runs batted in, and he's hit safely in 9 consecutive games. He'll be followed by Adrian Beltre, who returns to Fenway. Played 1 year for the Red Sox. That's going to find the corner for a called strike, according to Fletcher.
See that big open stance? He's going to step right back into it. Defense makes an adjustment. Travis Shaw goes over to play in the second baseman's hole.
Shaw back in the lineup after sitting yesterday. Red Sox wanted him to watch a game after he committed 2 errors the previous night in that blowout defeat. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Big, tall, lanky kid, Mazara at the plate. Nobody really knows him quite yet. He was, last couple of weeks has fallen off. He was hitting close to 320 at one point, but you don't know if he could reach that outside corner.
The 1-1 is knocked foul. He was named the American League Rookie of the Month for both April and May. Got off to a tremendous start, but as you said, just 1 home run in his last 27 games. So he has cooled off. It's either that or they have found some holes.
You would think, because it's going to take a long time for him to uncoil that big body of his, but when he does, he can launch it. He's hit a ball close to 500 feet this year.
Porcello looking for the double play ball. The 1-2 and tried to sneak it inside under the hands and just missed.
You know, Porcello has so much success this year against left-handed hitters. He tries to go. This is his bread and butter, that ball he tries to paint on the inside corner. Didn't come back. That was a cross seamer, not a 2-seamer.
Porcello perfect 3-0 in day games as the runner goes. A little trickler here, and Shaw will dig that out as the runner gets down to second. And Mazara out at first base. They had Desmond in motion, and he is in scoring position for Beltre.
Almost got in that situation where somebody's got to cover third base when everybody's over there on the right-hand side of the infield. To see this little weak ground ball. Desmond's on the move. Shaw makes the play, but everybody gets over to the third. Porcello got over there. Bogarts, everybody. We've done it to other teams. We know that's that could happen.
So send up Beltre at 280, 12 homers, 52 runs batted in. Once again, a solid year out of a guy who's headed for the Hall of Fame. And he has hit Rick Porcello in the past. That's in there for strike 1. 8 for 21, a 381 batting average with a home run against Porcello.
I can appreciate watching him one year with Boston. This guy plays the game so hard, and I definitely think he is a Hall of Famer. Got to have that.
Did not, though, on the count 1-1.
After the slider, he comes back with a cross seam fastball up the top of the zone. That's a strike.
2 down, a man at second, and popped him up but fouled back out of play. So it goes to 1-2 on Beltre. Prince Fielder on deck. Red Sox right now 3 games behind the Baltimore Orioles, who lost yesterday. The Orioles have lost 4 straight. And the 1-2 is up top. 2-2 on Beltre. Talk about his Hall of Fame credentials. Right now he's at 2,849 hits. Getting closer and closer to 3,000. Has over 400 home runs.
To me, he's a Hall of Famer right now, but he's not done. He just signed, what, an extension. He'll be around a couple more years, and those numbers will climb.
The 2-2 from Porcello, and he wouldn't chase. Being very, very careful with a guy who's had his number. So to count 3-2, Desmond at second. The Red Sox pitchers have had a devil of a time keeping the opponent out of the scoring column in the first inning.
Didn't want to come in.
Porcello very deliberate with this hitter. Here's the 3-2. Line shot, base hit, center field. Here comes Desmond. Up with it, Bradley, but the run is in, and it is 1-0 Texas.
He shook off trying to throw a fastball in, decided to go away, and then he threw it in. Sometimes you shake it off, you don't want to go in there, and he's setting up outside. Look, that ball runs in, and Beltre knows what to do with it. Fights it off, line drive, center field. Didn't smoke it, but the ball was up in his eyes.
His 53rd RBI. And very quickly, 1-0 the Rangers. Second hit off of Rick Porcello here in the first inning will send up Prince Fielder. who has not faced his former Detroit teammate. And the first one will miss for ball one. Fielder hitting just .217 with 7 home runs and 41 runs batted in. 2 for his last 14. He was swinging a good bat when we saw him in Arlington, but he has cooled off since then, like a lot of the Rangers. The 1-0, a strike.
Well, they play so well in their own ballpark. I mean, what are they at home? I mean, ridiculous. I think they've won 28 games already at home.
Yeah, 28-12 in Arlington. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I thought Fielder was done a couple years ago. He was hurt. Last year he came and turned it on again last year, drove in over 90 runs, 25 bombs. So it was a great disappointment. You think about him going for Kinsler. It was a great deal for Detroit.
Fielder has not reached 30 home runs since 2012, however. He showed in Arlington he can still hit it a long way when he connects. And that one's flicked foul, 2-2. Fans, be sure to stop by Plainridge Park Casino. Plainridge Park Casino is the official sponsor of Winning.
Well, it's about time for that two-seamer that starts at his waist.
See his splits from a year ago when he was hitting .347 at this time. Has a runner at first base in Beltre and 2 away.
Change up.
3 balls, 2 strikes, turning into a long inning for Porcello.
It's not a pitch he's trying to throw inner half. Change up.
So a full count on Prince Fielder. Rougned Odor is on deck. Runner goes, and it's a bounder foul.
You know, back-to-back changeups.
Texas with a big lead, 8.5 over Houston and Seattle in the AL West. At 52-31.
Mariners coming off a sweep of Baltimore, right? That's why they're there.
That's correct. 4-game win streak. Runner goes again. There's a shot driven to right. Betts racing back. He's not going to get it. It thuds into the fence. Beltre into third. They're going to hold him there as the throw comes in on 1 bounce, and down to second is Fielder.
You know, Beltre was holding up anyway, and Fielder was a sitting duck halfway to second base. But you'll see Pedroia throws it all the way to the plate, thinking the runner is still running, scoring. You watch this bullet, absolute bullet that hits the fence. No bounce, and bounces right back to Betts. He hits the cutoff man, Pedroia. He throws it, takes 1 look, throws it in. They hold up Beltre. Fielder goes to second base. Look at this rocket. Just missed by maybe a foot getting out of here.
Boy, that almost tore a hole in the Infinity logo out there.
You are not going to see a harder hit ball. But the play at the plate, that's a good smart thing by not sending Beltre. But they had Fielder at second. He was like wanting them to throw him out just to score the run. You see him, he's dead at second.
So they call a single. He takes second on the throw. Second and third, 2 down. And Porcello in trouble here, just trying to escape the first inning. 1-0 Texas. This has become a tired problem for Red Sox pitchers.
Well, he's lucky it's not 3-0 right now with that bullet.
Odor 262 and indicating a bunt. 15 home runs for him. So he, along with Desmond, their top home run bats.
This little guy's got some pop. You can get him out high fastballs. He'll swing through it, but you got to set it up.
The 1-0. Hard hit but foul as he hooked it outside first. Odor is skidding right now, so Porcello may be getting him at a good time. He's 5 for 30 on this road trip.
Well, he's got him set up to throw something hard upstairs out of the zone right now.
Porcello laboring. He's allowed 3 hits in the first inning, and he won't chase that one.
Got to set that stuff up. Got these 2 young kids back to back with Odor and Profar.
And the kid on deck is hitting .330. Odor 2 for 3 against Porcello lifetime. And lines that one into right field. That's going to drop down for a hit. Beltre is in. Here comes Fielder. The throw a little up the line, and Leone can't handle it. And sprawling at home plate and scoring that run is Fielder, needing a little help to get up there. But it is 3-0, and Odor is down to second base. And another bad start in the first inning for a Red Sox pitcher.
Porcello tries to trick him with the changeup, and Odor is absolutely all over it. You see that 3-finger changeup, middle, ball sinking a little bit. He goes down there and gets it, hits a rope to right field, and you know Fielder's trying to score from second base. All you got to do is get it in the vicinity, and it bounces. The second hop just eats up Leone, or he's a dead duck at home. You see the second hop gets away from him. 2-run score on the play, 3-0, and Porcello's getting knocked around.
He's allowed 4 hits and 3 runs, and that'll send up Profar. He's the 7th man to hit here in the first inning. That'll be in there for a strike. What is your take on why Red Sox starters have such an awful time in the first inning?
I don't know. When it starts to build up, I think it gets in everybody's head. It just does. It's contagious. They all know about it.
Ground ball toward the hole, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Odor coming around. He's going to score. Another hit, another run. That's 4 consecutive hits, and it is 4-0. And Porcello can't get out of the first.
Well, they have put an absolute hurting on Porcello. Once again, fastball down and in, and he finds that hole between first and second. Petey tries to dive, but no chance. Odor is going to score easy. Nice attempt by Petey, but no way.
It really has become a sickness for the Red Sox staff, hasn't it? With very few exceptions.
It's one thing giving up a run. 4 is another thing.
Line drive and a foul by Andrus at .281, 3 homers, 36 runs batted in.
Porcello's been so good at home. You know, 6-0 at home.
He's also been tough in situations like bases loaded spots where he could minimize the damage, needed to and did. Not in this inning, however. 4-0. Fouled off by Andrus. And he's another guy slumping, 4 for his last 24, but we've mentioned that several times with the first 7 or 8 guys hitting here, and they don't look like they're in a slump.
I know you got to get them before, you know, that talk about slumping. I was always afraid of a club coming in not swinging the bat very good. Don't start now.
Profar on at first after the RBI hit. High chopper to third. Shaw will go to second. That will end it. Sarcastic applause by the Red Sox faithful as Texas strikes for 4 in the first inning. Sox are in a quick 4-0 hold to Texas. Here's a look at the Sox lineup. Brought to you by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. Mookie Betts leads it. Then Dustin Pedroia and Xander Bogaerts. David Ortiz, the designated hitter, with Hanley Ramirez at first. Jackie Bradley in center. Brock Holt back in left. Travis Shaw returning to play third base today. And Sandy Leon, who was charged with an error on that play at home plate, is catching and hitting ninth. And a Rangers starting pitcher brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And that is Nick Martinez, 1-1, an ERA of 5.
The Rangers defense is brought to you by DraftKings. Around the infield, you talk about Beltre at third, Ellis Andre at second, Fedor at first, Profar at first. Around the outfield, Mazar at left, Desmond in center, Chin-Soo Choo in right. Behind the plate, Chirinos catching Nick Martinez.
And Mookie Betts trying to get a run back right away with 17 homers, hitting .294. And he'll take a strike from Martinez, making his 4th start of the season, his 2nd against the Red Sox. Betts has seen him before. He's 3 for 7 off him. And the 0-1. Martinez had no decision against Boston and Arlington last week. 6 innings, 4 runs.
See a lot more fastballs than you'd think you would see. He doesn't throw all that hard. He's got to be fine.
The 1-1, and he'll skip through for a base hit. Caught a piece of the mound, and Betts is on. He's been swinging a hot bat. And on this homestand, he's 8 for 16.
It's like he's been doing that every night. He gets a fastball right down the middle, maybe a little up. Doesn't try to pull it. Smokes this ball right back up the middle. And I'll tell you, he's been flirting with 300 the last couple of weeks.
Up there around 296 now, and a 6-game hitting streak. And that brings up Dustin Pedroia, who's at .302, 7 homers, 32 RBIs. He's 3 for 6 against Martinez, who will work from the set. And fires ball 1. Bogaerts next. Now, Dustin Pedroia was the guy who said after the debacle on Saturday night, it's all about coming back the next day, playing good baseball, getting a win, and winning the series. Winning series is what it's all about, not any individual score, as ugly as that looked.
I was amazed by the defense that Pedroia played in that game. They were down whatever, 10-1, whatever, and he made some great plays. And it tells you a lot about a player in those games still playing hard. I mean, that was a bad game for them all the way around. They had 4 errors. Bogey made an error late in the game.
It was 7 unearned runs. Much cleaner game yesterday. In fact, a great play by Jackie Bradley for the double play. Way out there in the triangle. Marvelous catch. Here's the 1-1. A strike.
You see that little wrinkle, about 85 miles an hour. Very average repertoire for Martinez. They're just trying to hold down the fort before these, Yu Darvish comes back, Colby Lewis. This rotation is just very mediocre after Hamels.
Red Sox will not see any of their stud pitchers. Ground ball to the right side. Odor to Andrus. That's 1 on to first, and a double play. So just like that, base is empty and 2 gone.
Well, I tell you what, Petey's done that a lot. I don't know how many that is, but it's a lot. I probably bet you 14, 15, which you don't expect Petey to, ground into double plays. He tries to hit the ball the other way, but it's just a tailor-made double play. Andrus has got enough time to throw him out with a long stretch there by Profar.
So 2 away. Bogaerts will climb in, hitting .333, 9 homers, 51 RBIs. Pounded in there for a strike. Xander right now 3rd in the American League batting race. He is behind David Ortiz. Altuve leading the way at .351. Toward the middle. Down for it. Andrus off balance. Close and safe at first base. So he'll have a base hit.
That was almost a tremendous play by Andrus. You talk about how does he get to this ball? I knew he was going to have a hard time getting something on it because Bogaerts could run, but what range that Andrus has to get to it. And it's a close play with the stretch, but he beat it.
It's greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile, American League hit leaders. Altuve with 113. Bogaerts as of that hit now 112. Mookie Betts 107. Ian Desmond with 103. He's picked up another one already in this game. So the Red Sox with a base runner, their second hit off Martinez, and David Ortiz to dig in. David hitting .338, 19 homers, 65 runs batted in.
I'll tell you what, he's quite a presence when he comes to the plate the first time up, tapping everybody on the back and with his bat.
And it really announces himself.
Here I am.
His last 4th of July in the big leagues. And he'll take low ball 1. Ortiz reaching base 3 times yesterday. That included a double in the 5th inning. Here's the 1-0 from Martinez. He smokes that one down the line. That's going to skip. Looked like it got into the crowd. And indeed it did. It was touched. And another one of those up on that railing as it goes for a double. You were wondering if it might come out. We were waiting on one on Friday night that never did because a fan touched it.
Well, this one went in, and I'll tell you, this was scorched. These balls are crushed. This ball gets to the stands and bops off about 3 people and then goes in and then trickles out. But that ball had some hair going into the stands. I mean, he takes BP every day. It looks like, I'll tell you what, Dave Ortiz is absolutely incredible this year with the balls, how hard the ball's been hit. Whatever he's hitting, there's no flares in there.
Well, look at this now. He has moved past Yaz on baseball's all-time extra base hit list at number 12.
How many doubles is that now? 32, 3, whatever. It's ridiculous.
It's been remarkable. He might wind up by the All-Star break with as many doubles as he had all of last year. 2nd and 3rd now for Hanley Ramirez, who's cooking with the bat. And by the way, Ortiz 33rd double. He had 37 all of last season.
We just saw Fielder hit the ball off the wall in right field, and that was scorched. But I tell you what, that ball's hit just as hard. It just didn't get it up.
Hanley was 3 for 5 with 2 doubles yesterday. 2 down. And he lets it go, and it catches the corner for a strike with that slider.
Hanley had a big at bat yesterday. Opened that game up a little bit. Base hit to right field off of Shoemaker. One of the biggest hits of the day, I think.
It was. And look at these last 10 games now. And he's been doing a lot of, once again, going back to driving the ball to the opposite field if he has a pitch to do it with. Red Sox had 3 hits here in the 1st inning. They have yet to score. They're down 4-0. And Martinez with a 1-1. Left it in. Get the feeling it's a good day to swing the bat?
I think so, but this is a big at bat early in this game. Picking up these 2 runs would be huge.
Bogarts and Ortiz. Bradley on deck. 2 down, 2 balls, a strike on Hanley.
Maybe he'll hang him a breaking ball here.
And the righty will not pitch it.
Well, he's thinking about it. That's a little doubts there. You've got to be committed to your pitch. Second thought, back off. You can't be thinking, I better not hang this.
Because that's when you do, right?
Yo, done it.
2 men in scoring position, and the 2-1 would not go after it. Now 3 balls and a strike. Jackie Bradley waiting his turn. Will he bat in this inning? Hanley Ramirez has liked facing Texas in his career. .323 lifetime against the Rangers.
How about this guy? He's 3 for 5 off this guy with 2 dongs. Don't think the guy doesn't know it. Martinez knows that.
Well, he gets something to drive. Here comes the 3-1. No, he did not. Ball 4, and they're all loaded up. The bases are filled up for Jackie Bradley.
Boy, you get a 4-0 lead like that. You got this guy on the hook. You got to make him pay. Don't let him escape this.
Well, for Jackie Bradley, not a whole lot to go on against Nick Martinez. Only 3 at bats, but he has 1 hit, and it was a home run. He has 13 for the season. No place to put him. Bogaerts at third, Ortiz at second, Ramirez at first, and 2 gone. First inning.
He hasn't got a whole lot to get you out. Little fastball, little breaking ball.
From the set. First one's into the dirt for ball 1.
Kind of afraid of that strike zone right now. Hear the crack of the bat enough, it kind of scares you.
Sox with a man at every base. Trying to climb right back in it. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Bradley. That's low for ball 2. Well, now he's got to throw him a strike.
What's he going to do? Trick him with a 2-0 changeup? He's throwing him slider and then changeup. What's Beltre going to tell you? You got to throw a strike? You're in trouble? Hello? Well, this is time to party. This is the party pitch, right? Cross seam, cheese. Here we go. This is it.
They lead at first, second, and third. The 2-0 to Bradley. He's taking, and that misses for ball 3. Not by much. Came at him with a fastball, but he missed.
Well, choked that fastball just a little bit. It's not his best bolt either. He's just trying to throw a strike.
3 balls, no strikes on Bradley. Here comes. He's taking, and that's a strike.
Boy, he's got them all lined up now.
.391 with the bases loaded, with 1 grand slam for Jackie Bradley. The 3-1. That's a strike. And Jackie Bradley has a beef on that one.
That ball's low. That's a gift right there. Fastball dips down. Look, and go down there and get it. Pull it back up. Clearly a ball. Jackie knows. He's going to get another fastball, another chance here.
Here comes the 3-2 and the bases loaded. And down low, and that one is ball 4, and that's going to force in a run as Xander Bogaerts will score, give the RBI to Jackie Bradley, his 52nd, and the Red Sox are on the board. That makes it 4-1.
We're going to see the sequence there to Jackie. He starts him off with a breaking ball that he doesn't want to throw for a strike, a little slider down in the dirt. Then he's going to come back with a changeup that he really doesn't want to throw for a strike either. 2-0, got to throw a strike, kind of pulls it a little bit. 3-0. And he's going to get a pitch to the hit, and you know you're going to throw a strike, and he does, and this ball is low. 3-1 pitch. What a gift. But he comes back again, having a hard time throwing strikes. Clearly ball 4.
Jackie with a fine at bat there. Gets him an RBI, brings up Brock Holt now. Bases jammed. Earlier this season in Toronto, in a game the Red Sox were trailing big early, Brock Holt ripped a grand slam to get them right back in the game. And he'll take downstairs for ball 1.
Boy, this is brutal. He needs to get knocked around. He needs a gapper here. You got nobody warming up.
Holt, the Texas native, 0 for 2 against Martinez. And the 1-0. That's a strike. Brock has returned from his concussion issues to go 4 for 8 in the series.
I'd hate to let this guy get off the hook with just 1 run.
Ortiz, Ramirez, and Bradley loading them up. And the 1-1. And he drops that one in there for a strike.
Little backdoor slider. Something different than those fastballs he's been featuring.
Red Sox have had 5 base runners here in the first inning against Martinez. Just the 1 run so far. And a 1-2 to Brock Holt on the way. Ground ball to first. Profar will take it to the bag, and that's frustrating for the Red Sox. They get only 1 run. 4-1 Texas after 1.
Top of the second, the Rangers have a 4-1 lead over the Red Sox. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Ryan Hannigan was in the clubhouse today after catching back-to-back 9-inning games for Pawtucket over the weekend. John Farrell said that he would go through a complete workup and they'd have a better read on his condition after the exam. And he also said that they expect him to be activated very soon. And O.B. Eck, Sandy Leon catching for the second day in a row. And John Farrell said that he's earned this time based on performance and that he's swinging a hot bat.
Yeah, that's a real indicator, Garen. I think a great point, too, because Porcello typically pitches to Vasquez. And it's Leon today.
It says something. It really does.
And he has been tearing the cover off the ball. Chirinos, their catcher, will lead off the second inning. The Red Sox only get 1 run, and they leave the bases loaded. And it's 4-1 Texas here in the second. Chirinos, and then Chu, and then Desmond. As Porcello tries to pull it together after a very rough first inning. And he was hit hard.
Wow, where's that? Hello? How do you miss this? I mean, this is middle piece. He thinks it low.
Fletcher off to a rocky start back there. A 2-0 strike.
He missed that 3-1 pitch. Definitely it was ball 4.
No
Luckily Jackie walked, or we'd be more upset than that.
You get upset every once in a while with umpires. I've seen
just
it.
once in a while.
2-1 trims the corner. So I'll leave it on Chirinos. Brian Butterfield and John Farrell in discussion. As the 2-2 is delivered. Hammered but foul. Another one hit pretty sharply by a Texas Ranger.
You got to be careful when you throw that fastball. You make sure you get it in. He got it in. He couldn't keep it fair. That ball's inside, but it just looks like a loud foul. Like, ooh, he was all over it.
Chirinos 0 for 3, 2 Ks against Porcello, who is one of 5 major league pitchers who have not lost at home, but he's down 4-1 early. And that'll miss.
Try to go back in there again, but just didn't do it. You know, he doesn't walk anybody. He puts the ball in play.
The 3-2 coming. Popped him up on the infield. Pedroia with the glove up on this very sunny day, and he'll put it away, backing up, and he hangs on. Red Sox season ticket holders experience the best seats, price, and benefits Fenway has to offer. For information on becoming a season ticket holder, just visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877-RED-SOX-9. A delightful pregame ceremony today with the flyover. A lot of military on hand as well. Did you watch any of the game from Fort Bragg last night?
I did.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, it really was cool. I mean, they made that ballpark just from scratch, right? I mean, it took them 4 months.
Yep. 12,500. That's the capacity. It was all military and their families on the Army base at Fort Bragg. Did a terrific job. Fouled away by Chu, who's 0 for 1 with a tapper to second.
It's not an easy thing to do. I guess the Players Association had a lot to do with it. They put money into it, right?
They did. Yep.
The commissioner was there. It's just a great, it's a great thing to do. Perfect timing to do it on a Sunday night. Yep. Next day's 4th of July.
Pretty good ball game too. 0-2 cut on and missed. He went for the downs and came up empty. First strikeout of the day for Porcello.
Porcello trying to get back into this game. You see cross seam fastball up out of the zone. Uppercut swing by Chu. First punch out.
And we'll bring up the former Washington National, who is flourishing with the Texas Rangers. He singled and scored in the first inning to get it rolling when they got 4 runs on 5 hits. And another one up the middle for a base hit. He's just swinging away. He's 2 for 2.
This guy's on fire, hitting 320 now. Boy, he couldn't find a hit last year, but he's on fire for this club. What a find. High fastball once again. Doesn't pop it up, just stays on top of this thing. Ground ball up the middle.
Well, it's no surprise that the hits are on the ground. Porcello makes his living with ground balls, but they are finding holes.
You wouldn't think that would have been a ground ball where it was, about belt high.
Is Mazara, the Rookie of the Year candidate. He foul tipped into the mid for a strike.
Well, he's late on that. It takes him a while to unravel that big old body. 21 years old, this kid.
0 for 1. He is grounded out to third. 4-1 Texas in the second, and they have a base runner with 2 down. That'll find the mark for a strike on a curveball.
Remember how Darryl Strawberry was so. Remember how skinny and lanky he was? He could hit him a long ways.
Oh, man. Light Tower Power.
Light Tower Power.
I always thought one of the great names in baseball history. Darryl Strawberry. Like Mickey Mantle.
I'll tell you what, even though it wasn't, you know, when remembers Dave Kingman was Light Tower Power. Remember how the home runs he used to hit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Kingdome.
Yes.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Mazara from the Dominican Republic. Very serious Rookie of the Year candidate. And Porcello with a 1-2 pitch. Runner holding. And that one's ripped. Oh, nice play here from a knee on to first base to get him. Travis Shaw with a scoop. That is unfamiliar territory for the most part on that side of the diamond. Made a really fine play. 4-1 Texas. USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. And a happy 4th of July. Great to have you along. 4-1. Texas has the lead as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin. And Travis Shaw about to lead things off. Just made a nice play, picking one out of the dirt on the right side of the diamond. Getting back into the lineup today. Watch yesterday's win from the dugout after he committed 2 errors on Saturday night. Red Sox did meet with him after that game, and they want him to play with the same kind of focus and fire that won him that job in spring training in Florida. As he knocks that one foul.
But he needed a day off too. You think about it, he's been playing a lot. I don't care how young you are. Did it take him to make a couple errors for them to give him a day off? I mean,
I think it was kind of like refocusing him on what he needed to do more than him being worn down too much. 1-1 lifted foul out of play. 266, 8 homers. He's driven in 45. He'll be followed by Sandy Leon and then Mookie Betts. Red Sox had opportunities to score a lot more than the 1 run they got in the first inning. They left him loaded. And it's cut on and miss. That one tied him up inside. So he strikes out, 1 away.
Well, he got him with a slider down and in after throwing him 3 fastballs. You see a little, it's not a cutter, it's a slider, took a lot off it underneath the swing.
Follow Red Sox baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment with game day, live game video, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet today. Sandy Leon hitting a gaudy .457 with a homer and 9 runs batted in.
What in the world is he starting to eat now? I'll tell you, this is amazing what he's done. Had such a great idea at the plate, hitting the ball hard, both sides.
I was talking to Torey Lovullo about him today before the game, and he said he's worked so hard on hitting down on the ball and getting lift and working with Chili Davis. But this goes back to, before spring training. This goes to winter ball and then spring training. And everybody agrees, the whole coaching staff, that he is so much more confident because that work has paid off.
He's getting a pitch to hit. He's identifying, pitch identification is a lot of it. That's a borderline pitch there, a 3-0 strike.
3 balls and 1 strike. Martinez walked 2 men in the first inning, including Jackie Bradley, with the bases loaded. Knocked foul to make it 3-2.
I mean, I know it's only 35 at bats, but still, it's gotten everybody's attention, hasn't it? I mean, to the point of he's got to stay here when they have to make a decision about Hanigan.
He's out of options too.
Right. That's the whole thing, comes down to options.
But he has deservedly played his way onto this club.
We always knew he could catch. Good throw, good thrower. I mean, he's a good package down, be back behind the plate. If he could hit, it's just a plus.
Coming off 3 RBIs. He spoils that one. Career high 3 RBIs yesterday, and on the season 16 for 35. Bunch of multi-hit games as well. Mookie Betts to follow. Red Sox trail 4-1 in the second inning. Game 1 against this very good Ranger club. 3-2. Hard hit foul. Red Sox had to like the way their pitching stacked up, even though it's the Texas Rangers. With Porcello at 9-2 going today, David Price tomorrow, and Stephen Wright on Wednesday. 3-2 again, flared foul. And not facing the cream of the rotation for Texas.
Well, they missed Hamels. He pitched yesterday. But they got A.J. Griffin tomorrow, who's used to be with the A's and got hurt, missed a year or so with another arm injury.
Missed Hamels in Texas as well. Well, the Rangers took 2 out of 3 in that series. 3-2. Hit toward the alley. That's into the gap on the grass. The track up against the fence. Leon strikes again. The throw's offline. He has a double. He just keeps on hitting and hitting and hitting.
I mean, this is incredible. You really think about it. Guy hitting below 200 in the big leagues. I know it's not a lot of at bats in the big leagues, but he gets a fastball. He fouled a couple of them off. Finds the gap with this. Hits a solid ball on a line in between the outfielders to the wall. It'll take a while to get there. He should have an easy double. And he does.
So Leon to second, and Mookie Betts trying to pick him up. He singled to begin the ball game for the Red Sox. 1 for 1, now hitting .296. And 4 for 8 against Martinez. Mookie's hit safely in 6 consecutive games. He is 8 for 16 with a home run on the homestand. Here's the 1-0. Time now to see who's been driving the ball, presented by Toyo Tires. It is Mookie Betts, 6 in a row, 400 average with a home run. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox.
This kid's putting up numbers. I mean, superstar. You know, it's halfway during the season. It's easy to say double up everybody's numbers, right? Because it's halfway point.
On pace, right.
On pace.
But when you do that, he's on pace for 34 home runs and 110 RBIs.
I mean, forget about it.
Out of the leadoff spot. He takes a strike.
Doubles, triples, you name it.
Right now, trying to pick up his 56th RBI. And cut this lead in half. 4-1 Texas. Pedroia on deck. Oh, high fly ball down the left field line, but did he pull it too much? Way into that corner. It is a foul ball. Foul. Wow. Not by much. The Red Sox are going to want to check on this one to see if it possibly went over
and then went
the Fisk pole.
I thought it had a chance. He pulled it, but it went foul late. How late, I don't know. That's hard to call. I don't know if you could get a good look at that. You know, when you hit it over the foul pole, it's hard to see if it's over, then going foul after it goes over.
On those, I'll tell you what, I have absolutely no idea. So now the umpires are going to huddle and see if anybody saw this differently than Kerwin Danley, who's the third base umpire who ruled it foul.
I remember Chris Davis hit a foul ball home run in Baltimore off of somebody. He hit it so high and so far, I thought it was gone. It may have landed foul, but it hit it so high over the foul pole, the camera couldn't tell.
I really don't know how you can.
I mean, the only way you can is if the foul pole was another, make it 500 feet, whatever,
right.
You know?
It's been suggested, and I don't know how you can do this in day games. I know you can do it in night games, that you have a laser extending up through the top of that thing.
Right.
Take a look.
Now, what's that tell you?
Ooh.
Wow. But your angle, the camera's over here to the right. You see what I mean? It's not lined up square down the line. But from here, it looks like it went over fair, right?
That one does.
And then, wow, that is so hard, but it's not lined up.
So they are going to challenge this. The Red Sox will challenge. Now, I can't say for sure if in New York they get our blow up, our circle that we just showed you. I don't know if that's true, but when you blow it up like that and they're showing it up on the big board inside the ballpark, it looks like it is over the top, and that looks like a home run to me.
Yeah, it does, but the angle, what's the angle? The fans are reacting to the scoreboard, trying to coax them into calling it. Meanwhile, somebody else is looking at this thing.
This is officially a crew chief review, by the way. So Red Sox asked the umpires to get together, and let's see. Nope, foul ball.
Wow.
A very noisy strike then in the end for Mookie Betts.
I tell you what, Martinez is living in it right now. He just barely got out of the first inning, and that he just witnessed a foul ball two-run shot. He's living right up to this point.
Runner at second base, one down. Red Sox trail 4-1. 2-2 on Mookie Betts, and Martinez delivers and popped him up into shallow right. Long run in for Chu, coming on Desmond. Desmond will put it away. Leon has to stay put at second, and there are two gone for Dustin Pedroia.
Wow, that's a home run wasted there by Mookie. Every time he lights one up, you know it's gone. He doesn't hit any wall scrapers.
Dustin Pedroia hit into a double play in the first inning, in which the Red Sox were attempting to rally from a 4-0 deficit and got 3 hits and 2 walks, but only produced the 1 run. Pedroia now at 98 hits so far, so he's close to a 200 hit pace. He cuts and misses a vicious rip.
Boy, he's looking to go deep right there too.
Pedroia with an 8-game hitting streak, and he's reached base in 12 consecutive games. Martinez living on the edge. Grounded to the second baseman, and Odor will flip on and retire the side. The Red Sox have already left 4 men on base in 2 innings. Suit Drive in July. When you make a donation of gently used professional clothing at any Men's Warehouse location, you help men and women look their best as they re-enter the workforce. Learn more at nationalsuitdrive.com. Mookie Betts crushing one moments ago way down the left field line. I just don't know how you can rule conclusively that that's a home run. I know the fans were very disappointed. But the camera that we're using, this goes to your point, is the one along the first base line. So the angle makes it almost impossible for them in New York to tell.
That's why you're right when you say they need to have some kind of higher thing. I mean, not so much the foul pole, but laser going up.
Beltre with a base hit and an RBI his first time up. We'll give you a look at where our camera angle is, and that's it. You know, from the first base bag, behind a first base bag, and that way. So this goes to your point about the angle and how it might make it look. That's tough.
Wait, that's us. Oof.
That is tough on the umpires.
Got to pay attention up here. This ball almost got me. I mean, that's right at me. I would have had it.
You would have.
Talking about the foul pole, almost took one in the chops.
1-2. Rip foul. Beltre continues to swing hard and then harder. He has throughout his career. Whatever you do, do not touch his head.
How about when he goes down on one knee when he swings? It's usually a breaking ball. He's adjusting his swing halfway through and he goes on one knee. We saw that when he was here.
And every once in a while, if a pitch almost grazes him, he'll run in place very quickly with choppy steps. As a chopper foul. He's got a lot of little quirks.
And then he'll check the umpire. If he checks his swing, he'll point at the umpire to have you check it, right?
Yep.
I think he did that against us last weekend, and the guy did call a strike.
And very entertaining player. Tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. We'll have a one-on-one interview with Rangers third baseman Adrian Beltre, who had one outstanding season with the Red Sox. Toward the middle, Bogaerts gets down for it, throws, and he's not going to get him. And Beltre is on with his second hit today.
He's just trying to make contact. Beltre, this is a pretty good pitch. He kind of throws his bat at it. This play takes a long time to develop, a lot of footsteps after the catch, and even Beltre could, you see him throw his bat at it, ball down and away. He doesn't run all that well, but that play took too long.
He's 2 for 2, 7 hits already against Porcello for Texas. And here's Prince Fielder, who tore into a long single that slammed into the bullpen fence on the fly. Almost went through that little wall down there.
Hit that ball 380 feet. Bullet.
It's a single. He took second on the throw. He would later score.
Barely.
Kind of came tumbling over home plate, but he did get in. They got 4 runs in a blink of an eye in the first inning against Porcello. So it was going to be uphill the rest of the day for the Red Sox, who did get a run back in the first. The Red Sox have had very good scoring chances against Martinez. Ground ball there, Bogaerts. That's 1. That's 2. Red Sox turn a double play. 2 gone in the third.
You don't see him hit that ball that way very often. Everybody's playing in the pull. Look, and there's Bogaerts stays home at short. And you know anything thrown to second base is going to get turned into a double play with Fielder going down the baseline. The easy double play. You got all day to turn it.
Red Sox will have Bogaerts, Ortiz, and Ramirez due up when we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Here's Odor, who drove in 2 with a base hit first time up. Ultra aggressive with the bat as he fouls it away. His father's name is also Rougned. So is his brother, who was signed by Texas last year. He's also an infielder, his little brother. So one day you could see a double play turned by Rougned Odor to Rougned Odor.
That's not against the law to name your sibling the same name?
Well, get this.
Different social security numbers.
Their uncle's name is Rouglas, and he has 2 sons named Rouglas. It's a lot like George Foreman, who has 5 male sons named George.
I guess you can do it.
Makes for a confusing household. That one stung into center field for a base hit. He's 2 for 2, and the hits just keep on coming. 8 already for the Rangers. Now looking for a cool and educational website for the kids to use while on summer vacation? Have them visit NESSONClubhouse.com. With videos, games, and a lot more, visit NESSONClubhouse.com today. Rick Porcello is not fooling anybody here this afternoon. Fortunate to have that double play ball, and now comes Profar, who has an RBI single. He's hot, hitting .337. 4-1 Rangers. And ball one.
You know, talk about Profar. He was the #1 prospect for what, a couple of years running. #1 prospect in all baseball, and then he got hurt. He got shoulder injury, and now he's playing first base. He was a second baseman.
The 1-0 in for a strike. We're seeing a lot of fastballs around 89 today.
Yeah, upstairs a little bit.
Instead of where it'd prefer to be around 93. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Rangers with 2 down in the 3rd. And he pops him up down the line. Holt on the charge and gets there to retire the side. They do not score in this inning. 4-1 Texas. Inning we go now, last half of the 3rd, and the Red Sox will have Bogaerts to lead it off. Time now for our Coors Banquet timeless moment. 13 years ago today, Bill Miller hit 2 home runs, one from each side of the plate, as the Sox would beat the Yankees 10-3. Boston hit 7 home runs in that game, July 4th, 2003. Very, very potent offense. I always thought Bill Miller was one of the more underrated hitters.
Totally. One of the best offensive teams they ever put together here in 2003.
Won a batting title. Xander 1 for 1 with a single in the 1st inning and scored the Red Sox run on a bases loaded walk to Jackie Bradley. And it's quickly 0-2. He'll be followed by Ortiz and then Hanley Ramirez. 4 runs, 8 hits already for Texas. 1 run on 4 hits and an error for the Red Sox. A ball and 2 strikes.
Martinez really fastball slider. That's it. Threw a couple changeups.
It's only his 4th start of the season. Had to put him in there because of so many injuries. Martinez left the game against the Red Sox last week in Arlington with a score 7-4. He had the lead. That was the game the Red Sox rallied in the 9th inning to score 4 times, all with 2 out, and shocked the Rangers 8-7. 2-2 and a bounding ball fair down the line. Off the short fence. He takes a big turn, but will be held at first base. Went over the bag, according to Kerwin Danley. And it'll be a base hit. Xander's 2 for 2.
See Beltre complaining there because he went to catch this ball, and if anybody knew it was fair or foul, it would be him. See the second bounce is foul. He's calling that ball fair when it crossed the bag. That's hard to really tell. What's the next bounce is foul. Did it go fair over the bag? It's really kind of a guess. Beltre thinks it's foul, but base hit by Bogaerts.
Kerwin Danley has been busy along that line. And that'll send up Big Papi. David with a double his first time up. Hit a screamer down the right field line. Eventually hopping into the stands. DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSN at DraftKings.com. Fly down the left field line. There's nobody there. That's out of the warning track and up against the wall. Bogaerts going to keep on coming, rounding third, trying to score, and he will. He slides in. Ortiz with another extra base hit. That'll make it 4-2.
Another double for Ortiz. He wore out the right field line the first time up with a bullet. This one gets a fastball outside. Might have been a ball. Just flicks this ball. Little Fenway double. No one's playing him there. You see the left fielder Mazara. He's not even close to this ball, and he's going to have trouble with it. He's not going to get it clean. They would have held him up, but just that little fumble right there, and they send him, and he scores easy.
David Price will be going tomorrow. Loves the effort. Martinez is very hittable. Red Sox probably think they should have 3 or 4 more runs already against him. He only got 1 in the first inning and left them loaded, but the first 2 men have reached here in the third, and it's 4-2 Texas. Nobody out for Ramirez, who took ball 4 first time, and he checks it's inside ball 1. The last 10 games, Hanley Ramirez is batting .417.
Well, you're not going to swing and miss his fastball. You're just not. I mean, he has a little breaking ball.
The 1-0. That's a strike. Jackie Bradley next. I thought both Hanley Ramirez and Jackie Bradley had very disciplined at bats in the first inning. After Martinez had given up 3 hits, he was getting knocked around, but they took their walks.
You think you'd be anxious with the way this guy throws, too.
The 1-1 pitch. He wailed on that one. It came up empty.
Well, this pitch, he was just going to swing. That's all there was to it. He was in swing mode. This ball's a ball out of his hand. I know it's sunk a little bit, but he's trying to launch it.
What were the telltale signs for you when you were pitching? You knew when that guy got in the box, he was going to take a swing out of his shoes. He was going to try and go and hit it 500 feet at least once in that at bat.
Well, you like that. I mean, you want guys to me, the guys are vulnerable to striking out. I wanted to, they're going to get their home runs, but I like facing them. You're not going to throw them anything to hit.
Nobody out. Ortiz at second. There's a shot. Racing back Mazara. It's over his head off the 10. Ortiz will score easily. Ramirez is into second. He trades places with Big Papi, and the Red Sox are within 1. (4-3).
He's like this ball isn't in the seats. Another slider didn't do much. Hanley's all over this pitch. The ball's just spinning. It does go at the outside corner. He goes down there and pulls this ball. Beautiful swing. This ball finds the wall on a line, a double again.
He's on fire.
He really is.
Nobody out, and a tying run at second. We said it in the first inning. It feels like a good day to hit.
Yes.
Conditions are perfect for the offenses, and now Jackie Bradley looking for his second RBI today. He took a bases loaded walk in the first.
There's nobody warming up. They've used their bullpen galore the last few days.
That'll be a strike. Another rather generous call. Bradley was not happy with a 3-1 pitch that was called a strike in the first inning. It was below the hollow of the knee, but he got another one moments later that was even lower for ball 4, forcing in a run. Here's the 0-1. Popped him up. Shallow left. Andrus out. Coming on Mazara, and Andrus makes the play. Boy, he was out there.
Somebody help him out.
Looking up into that sun.
I mean, Mazara, that's a left fielder's ball. I guess he called it early and he just let him have it, but you see how far he went to get this thing in the sun. It's a nice play by Andrus, considering how far he went.
So 1 out. Tough sky on this 4th of July. 4-3 Texas. A lot of scoring early. Here's Brock Holt. He's 0 for 1 with a tapper to first base. He'll take strike 1. When he is in the lineup, when he starts, the Red Sox are 23-9. He makes a difference. And often with the bat and the glove of the arm, as that one's rolled foul, as he did on Friday night when he came back into the lineup. He had 2 doubles and an outfield assist.
Well, he knew he wasn't ready. He said, right, when he would wake up after playing, he didn't feel all that right. And he didn't want to come here prematurely and have that happen. But he had a great first game, couple doubles.
And came back with a pair of hits yesterday. And the Ramirez away from second. Martinez with the 0-2. Fouled away. Now, just moments ago, after he had scored, look at David Ortiz and Porcello with a nice moment there. And Porcello coming over to say thanks, as the Red Sox have gotten him right back in the game.
Porcello's just got to hang in there, man. He gave up 4. Just hold them there, and they should open this thing up.
We're already 15 hits in this game by the 2 clubs combined. There's a high fly ball, that one driven deep. Right center on the move. Chu back. It's off the top of the wall. That's gone. That's a home run. And the Red Sox have taken the lead. It got out into the bullpen. Brock Holt with his 4th home run of the season, a 2-run shot.
Well, it's just a matter of time before they're going to open this thing up. Martinez living in the trees in the first inning to get out of it, but not now. Couple of doubles and then a hanging slider, and this little guy Brock Holt puts a jolt into this thing. Thought Chu had a chance at it. He gave up on it. It hits the top of the fence and bounces in. Beautiful thing, and then you see who's there to catch it.
Yes, Robbie Ross.
That was an easy one. Watch this thing bounce up. Nice play.
That was styling. Here's Travis Shaw as he pops that one foul out of play. Speedway proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience. For every Red Sox homer this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. All summer long, you can get any size fountain or frozen drink for just 69 cents. Red Sox ahead 5-4. It's going to be that kind of day. So find a seat, stay right there. It's going to be a lot more scoring, maybe.
Where's Porcello? He's got to give him a little standing 0-2, huh?
Red Sox fighting back to give Rick Porcello the lead. Rick Porcello's been a good luck charm at Fenway. He's not lost here all season. He's 6-0.
Boy, those sliders go a long ways. I don't care who's hitting.
And Brock Holt back in that lineup and swinging it. Shaw 0 for 1, struck out his first time up, only 1 away in the inning. He serves that one, a bounding ball to Beltre. And there are 2 down. Brock Holt with some energy for this lineup.
Been a while since he hit a home run. It was the only home run he hit was a grand slam, I think, right? Long time ago.
This one a 2-run shot. He lives for those moments when he's not pitching. They don't count if he doesn't catch it with a hat.
Right. That was a gift, wasn't it? Popped up nicely for him.
I thought he reacted beautifully on that. That one is down low. Red Sox ahead 5-4. Leon with the bases empty. He does have a double today. And he'll lay off that pitch outside. Hits are even at 8. But the ball is flying. And Martinez with a 2-0. High fly that is driven deep toward the triangle, way back there, and that ball is going to be off the wall, and that skips into the bullpen. So that's going to be an automatic 2 bases. His second double.
I mean, this has got to be Sandy Leon's best bolt. He hits this ball off the 420-foot sign in center field. I mean, you can't hit it much farther. The wrong part of the ballpark, not to be a home run. Look at this fastball, middle, and he launches it. Sweet swing. This is as good as he can hit a ball. Off the 420 sign.
Another double for the Red Sox. Look at that gap between Boston and Colorado in doubles. And the Red Sox have 3 of them in this inning and 5 in the game. Doug Brocail out. They don't have anybody warming up.
I mean, this to me is lunch job right here. This is as bad as it gets. And you don't have anybody warming up because obviously their bullpen's been worn out. Long road trip here for Texas. They've been to New York, Minnesota, and now Boston.
They have also coughed up a 4-0 lead. And the Red Sox looking for more. Mookie Betts now becomes the 9th man to hit. The last couple of days, the Red Sox offense is back in gear as Mookie takes a strike. Martinez pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 9 hits and 5 earned over 2 2/3.
And a foul ball 2-run home run that was taken away.
And a little pop foul out of play.
Ball running back in on Betts. Anytime he gets a ball inside, I'll tell you what, I'm sure the league knows by now, right? I mean, quick hands. And when he hits balls out, it's like they're gone as soon as he hits them.
Leon is second, 2 down, the 0-2 pitch. Again in on the hands. Betts is the 8th man to hit in this inning. Pedroia on deck would be the 9th if we get that far. Red Sox were down 4-0 very quickly. Got a run back in the first and 4 more here in the 3rd inning. And the 0-2 pitch from Martinez. Breaking ball loop toward right field, on the move Chu, and tracks it down. He makes the play to retire the side. Brock Holt is back, and with a 2-run homer here on the 4th of July has the Red Sox in front. Reds are in attendance here at Fenway today. They'll be performing at the Esplanade, the 4th of July celebration tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss it.
Very talented.
Yes.
Elvis Andrus leading things off here in the 4th inning, and the Red Sox are on top 5-4.
Boy, if there's a time to shut down inning, this is it.
Rick Porcello chasing his 10th win of the season. He's 9-2. First inning was a bit of a nightmare for him as he gave up 4, but it was in the first inning.
He's starting to mix his pitches up a little bit. A little curveball he doesn't throw all that often to right-handed hitters.
And the 0-2 outside. He's coming off an 8-2 win against Tampa Bay. Went 6 and struck out 8. That was the highlight of that particular series. Here comes the 1-2 to Andrus, and that'll miss downstairs and a little inside. Two. The shortstop, Xander Bogaerts, collects it. 1 man out. We check out what events are coming up at Foxwoods Resort Casino on July 15th. Jim Gaffigan on the 21st. It'll be George Benson. And on July 22nd, Jeff Beck and Buddy Guy. One fast out on the ground ball brings up Chirinos, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a pop to second base. And he'll take a strike. He'll be followed by Shin Soo Choo. Porcello lifetime 4-4 against the Rangers in 8 starts with a 5.86 ERA. That one's softly hit down for his Shaw. Nice play there, and he guns to get him. Really had to lunge after that. It was not hit sharply, and there were 2 down.
I don't know if that's such a great idea there by Travis Shaw to go after this ball. Look how far he goes to get it. Softly hit, full extension, keeps his balance, makes the play. Bogaerts right behind him. You see him. He would have made that play too. Runner not that fast.
So 2 up, 2 down. You were looking for that shutdown inning out of Rick Porcello. And a 1-2-3. Choo lifts a high fly ball into left field. Holt backing up, turning around now. And that's going to be high off the monster. It gets away from him. Choo taking a big turn. He's off the bag. The throw, the tag, he's safe. He got back in there, according to Mark Ripperger. And it'll be 2 bases.
Brock showing off that gun. He threw somebody out the other night from the corner. He has trouble with this ball because it barely hits the wall. It just sort of skimmed the wall, came straight down, got away from him. But Choo's trying to go to third, decides otherwise, and he's just off the bag. Watch, he'll stop, say, no, I'm not going to do that. But look at this throw behind the runner, almost gets him. Pedroia had to go and reach for the ball to get it back to him, and in that time, he was safe. But what a throw there.
And the Red Sox thought about a challenge there, and John Farrell decided not to. I think wisely, as Choo certainly looked like he got back in his 5th double.
Boy, the ball is carrying today. That looked like a can of corn left field. Just sort of skimmed the wall.
Sends up Ian Desmond, who has rifled a pair of hits, 2 singles, and takes a strike. He's hitting .321, 15 homers, 52 runs batted in.
It's a big out here for Porcello.
Trying to keep his slender lead here in the 4th inning, and the 0-1 coming. Oh man, he almost screwed himself into the ground with that swing.
Boy, he can't throw a curveball any slower than that. 68 miles an hour. See how much he takes off of this thing. Looks like it's just sitting there. He gets way out in front of it. On one knee.
2 down, runner at second. 0-2 on Desmond. He's not had a real quick inning yet, and that'll be inside. Mazzara on deck, and now Leon out for a visit.
Well, that was a tantalizing breaking ball pitched before. You wonder what they want to do here. He's gotten base hits on fastballs up out over the plate the first 2 times up, right back up the middle.
Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games. Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace, RedSoxReplay.com. The best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game. Certainly a festive crowd on this 4th of July at Fenway Park. There's a little damper put on in the first inning when the Rangers struck for 4, but the Red Sox have battled back to take the lead. Porcello trying to get the 3rd out in the inning, and a 1-2. Crack toward the shortstop hole. That's going to sweep through for a base hit. Chu rounding, Holt throwing. Here's the play at home, and he is out at home. Brock Holt cuts him down. Let's see if they challenge on the Texas side on a play at the plate.
I don't think they will. He's out.
Bannister, their manager, is checking with his video man. Let's take a look at the replay.
This ground ball took a long time. See Chu rounding 3rd. He's just getting to the ball, but he throws a one-hopper, goes back to tag, and he's got him. He had to go a ways to get that ball and then bring it back to him, and he tags him right on the thigh.
Yep. No challenge. Out at home. 5-4 Boston.
A 5-4 lead, and what a play by Brock Holt. I think it is safe to say the Brock star is back. And yesterday was a very special day for Brock Holt and his wife Lakin, who found out here at their reveal party at Fenway Park on the video board that they are expecting a baby boy. They wanted it to be kept a secret, so they arranged that Dustin Pedroia's wife Kelly would find out the gender of the baby from the doctors and let the staff know here so they could put it on the video board. Guys, Holt said it was just a really cool way to do it, and it was so special to him to have his teammates here, and they are very excited to be parents. And he said no, he has not got any advice from new dad Jackie Bradley Jr. yet.
Not yet, but that's coming. we all know that's coming. All of us could do that.
Yeah,
dispense
really.
all sorts of free advice.
Something about, having children get you hot. You talk about Jackie Bradley, 29-game hitting streak, then had a child, right? And Holt coming back and making his mark, couple doubles, and then today throwing the ball and goes bridge off the wall. He's done it all.
Literally went bridge, didn't he? Right on the bridge.
He did. Top of the bridge.
Pedroia is 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play and grounded to second. Texas has actually out-hit the Red Sox 10-9. We had an inkling it would be that kind of day at Fenway. This one is ripped toward the gap. On the move Chu, though, and to his right will take it in. So Pedroia 0 for 3, although he hit it hard. Today at 5:30, don't miss NESN Live, presented by Cross Insurance. Eck will break down today's game, and you'll get the latest on Kevin Durant's decision to join the Golden State Warriors. They needed a little more talent.
Right.
They needed to be a little better and win some more home games.
Surprise you?
No, not at all.
Really?
I think he's going for it.
Yeah.
He's going for a championship.
Yeah.
And he's never won one.
It's too bad for Boston. They thought they had him. They brought out the big guns, right? Brady to go talk to him, whatever.
Yep. He's on to Golden State as Bogart steps in and takes a ball. He's 2 for 2. He has 2 singles and he has scored twice today. Sox up 5-4 in the bottom of the 4th. Nick Martinez on the hill here for Texas today. Came in with an ERA of 5 and now it's up to 6.33. Red Sox are certainly catching a break in this series. They're not seeing any of the big star pitchers for Texas because all those guys are hurt. And the Red Sox have their 3 best on the mound in the series in Porcello, Price, and Wright.
Martinez is staring Ortiz in the face with his 3-0 count to bogey.
Pounded in for a strike.
Didn't have to be.
Another one that looked low.
So many 3-0 pitches are called strikes.
Well, I know you loved it when you pitched.
Oh yeah, but when strike's a strike.
Hammer down the line quickly into the stands, but foul.
Ball is carrying today, isn't it? It's flying. And the wind's blowing out a little bit. It's just because there's no humidity.
Great day to hit. Certainly has been so far. Ortiz on deck. He's 2 for 2. Another one ripped but foul. Xander is on a pace for 222 hits this season. He has fallen behind Altuve and Ortiz in the batting race. He's 3rd right now. Altuve's rocketed by everybody. Fouled off again.
Altuve is one player. I'll tell you, he is special.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players.
Really, no doubt about it. Steals bases too. That matters.
He is the Astros' Dustin Pedroia. And on his way to another batting title, perhaps. That one's scalded and eats up Andrus. It's off into left field on what should be a base hit.
I would think, because the ball was hit so hard. Ball came up.
If so, he's 3 for 3.
I don't know if it's a bad hop or not, but this ball had one hop right at you. Not an easy play. He's sort of protecting himself, backing off.
Andrus really good defensively, cannot handle that chance. We've not seen a ruling on it yet. And the batter will be David Ortiz, who has 2 doubles. They are ruling it a base hit for Bogaerts. He's 3 for 3.
I don't think Martinez has much to get Ortiz out. He's used up the whole ballpark. Just hasn't left the ballpark, but the doubles machine this year, Ortiz.
He checked and it's in there for a strike.
Ball is outside. If there's anybody that knows a strike zone, it's Ortiz. Sets up outside, doesn't even hit the glove.
Well, it's a big plate today. Comes the 88th pitch for Martinez in the 4th inning. Foul back out of play. 2 doubles for Ortiz.
And I told you, using the whole field. This is a bullet. Fastball in, bullet down the right field line. Scoots up into the stands, and then fastball away. Go the other way. No one's there. RBI double, scores bogey.
Ortiz leading the American League in doubles, on base percentage, slugging percentage, extra base hits, home batting average, 378 coming into today. Batting average against right-handers, 359 coming into today, and has nearly as many doubles already as he had all of last season. What a remarkable final year. Bottom of the 4th inning, and each side already has 10 hits. And Martinez with a 2-2. Runner goes and now stops. There's a fly to left. Mazara there on the warning track to make the catch. And now Xander Bogaerts will retreat to first. And they're 2 down. This summer, pump up the fun with Irving Oil's $5 million giveaway. 3 ways to play. You can drive away with a Ford Escape, $5,000 in cash, but a grand prize of $100,000. Get your game ticket at Irving Oil today. Hanley Ramirez now. He has walked and he has doubled in a run. Red Sox up 5-4.
You know, with the numbers that Ortiz has put up, and I know that we all don't think that Hanley Ramirez has had that great of an offensive season, but you look at his numbers, they're all not that bad. It has something to do with Ortiz getting pitches to hit, don't you think? I mean, I think this better offense, the fact that has something to do with that great season that Ortiz has had.
Got to think so.
Yeah, you got to think so. But still hitting over 340 with the damage and the doubles and the, my goodness.
And Ortiz did not go into any kind of a lull when Hanley slumped for a while. Just kept on swinging it.
I mean, because you think about it, if a guy's hitting 340 with all that damage, you got to pitch around him. I mean, you got to walk him. You know, like a Barry Bonds thing. Just walk him every time you get a chance.
But now Hanley Ramirez is locked in. Red Sox get 10 runs yesterday without the benefit of a home run. Inside to make it 1-0. And bouncing back from 4-0 down today to take a 5-4 lead, and it did not take long to do that. Jackie Bradley driving in the first run with a bases loaded walk in the first inning. He's up next.
Finally going to throw a changeup. Haven't seen that for a while.
The 1-0. 2-0. What's going to get Martinez in the end may not be so much the Red Sox bats. It's going to be the pitch count. He's got 92 pitches already.
What's the record for 4 innings?
Well, the Red Sox have really made him work the 2-0 pitch. Two and one.
See, Chirinos almost taking that strike away, trying to fake a throw to first base. 2-0 count, you throw a ball down and away, you got to have it.
Well, he's at his high for the season. Here comes the 2-1. Oh, he swung so hard he went right down on his back. Wait, can you swing any harder than that?
I mean, my goodness. Oh, the ground came out from underneath him, he said. Talk about leaving Earth.
Wow.
He kind of slid into that. He moved his feet to get in position to leave Earth, and he left Earth all right.
Well, Hanley's talking about that batter's box. You said giving away a little bit there.
Yeah.
He takes some big swings, but
when you have a big swing and you fall down, it's like you're swung too hard, right? You can't fall down. The old fall down swing.
2 balls, 2 strikes. With Bogaerts leading at first, trying to get back in, and does on the dive.
He's thinking about going over there with what's happening, and he's way out. He's got a big lead. Kind of flinched the other way a little bit. Just did get back. I don't know. That would have, he could have been picked off easily right there. Smiling now.
Hanley is 4 for 6 with 2 home runs against Martinez. Runner goes, and it's inside. Here's the throw, and not in time. A stolen base.
He got such a good jump there. I thought it wasn't even going to be close. Didn't have as big a lead that time, but he got a great jump, and Chirinos got a good arm. 1 hop, bang bang play, but he's safe easy. Headlong dive, gets the hand in. See ya. He was gone. Look back once. Surprised it was even that close. Great arm by Chirinos.
Number 11 for Xander Bogaerts. 2 down, full count on Ramirez. And he wouldn't chase, and he takes ball 4.
Boy, he saw the ball so well off him. His second walk.
So Hanley Ramirez aboard for the third time today. And 2 men on and 2 men out for Jackie Bradley. As Martinez's long day continues. Get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station. That's located here at Fenway behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org.
I'll tell you what, if they had a fresh bullpen, he wouldn't even be in this game right now.
They are finally getting Michael Roth up in their pen, the left-hander. Despite 10 hits and 5 runs, and Martinez blowing a 4-0 lead. It took a long time because their bullpen has been overworked. Texas with the best record in the American League at 52-31. Coming into this 3-game series. Jackie Bradley about to climb in. He took a bases loaded walk in the first inning. He's also popped to short. And the Red Sox looking to get some more runs for Rick Porcello. Porcello can leave the afternoon at 10-2 with a victory here today. And the first pitch is over but low for ball 1.
Jackie's seen this pitcher 3 times now. This third at bat, he saw a bunch of pitches to walk the first time. You got to be licking your chops a little bit here. He just threw him a changeup. Are they going to throw him another changeup?
The 1-0 fouled off the catcher.
He did.
Bradley with 2 assists and a double play Sunday against the Angels. He has 8 assists on the year. That leads all major league center fielders. He also now has 52 RBIs. 2 ducks on the pond. And the 1-1 is up top.
It's probably going to be the starting center fielder for the American League. Find out tomorrow night.
Indeed, that's when the announcement is made on the All-Star starters. Red Sox could well have 4 starters for the American League. Here's the 2-1. High fly ball. That one well hit to left, but Mazara turning now near the 10 will make the play to retire the side. Red Sox will strand 2, still leading 5-4 after 4. It is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. By Mazda, driving matters. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. 2 really good offenses going toe-to-toe, and that's the result. And we're just getting to the 5th inning, and already 20 hits by the clubs combined. Red Sox with a 5-4 lead. Texas coming up. Mazara, Beltre, and Fielder That's the heart of the order against Rick Porcello, who was helped out last inning by Brock Holt as he tossed an outstanding throw to home plate to get Chu, who was trying to score on a base hit from Desmond. That was out number 3, and Mazara will take one inside, ball 1.
Things are going good here for Porcello. That last inning, looking for a shutdown inning, throw out a guy at the plate who saves you right there.
He's gotten Mazara twice, each time a tapper to the third baseman.
Another breaking ball.
And a strike. Each time the third baseman Travis Shaw was on the right side of second base when he made the play. That's where he is again. And the 1-1 to the talented rookie. And again he's going to find Travis Shaw, who will scoop it and get him. 1 man out. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC Jim Rice and Steve Lyons will break it all down. You'll hear from Rick Porcello and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason. So Porcello gets the leadoff man in the inning, and now trying to get Beltre for the first time. He has singled twice off him. He's driven in a run. Adrian, now 37 years old. But the Red Sox, in his one season in 2010, he hit .321 with 28 homers and 102 runs batted in. Big swing, and he went down on a knee as he fouled that one back.
That's how he hits breaking balls. We saw that when he played here in Boston. You see the breaking ball, he sort of slows his swing down, goes down on one knee. Porcello going to a lot of secondary stuff. His fastball's been so iffy today.
Routine fly ball to center field. Jackie Bradley there. Didn't have to move much. 2 fast outs in the 5th. That'll send up Prince Fielder.
Has not even thrown a fastball this inning, going to strictly breaking stuff. Couple change-ups.
Fielder with a base hit. He's also hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Struggling along at .219, just 7 home runs.
There's that fastball, only topping out 89.
Fielder was diagnosed in spring training with sleep apnea. He does wear a mask at night to help him sleep better. He's always been a big guy. There was a time there he announced he was a vegetarian several years ago.
You have to announce you're a vegetarian, I guess.
Red Sox shift on him, the 1-1. Little blooper. Pedroia giving it a run. Can't get it. I think he went after it with that bare hand. It drops in for a base hit for Fielder. Anything that works.
Couldn't get his glove there in time. He said, might as well stick my hand to get it. You see it just hitting the perfect spot. He reaches for it. No way, but little bleeder there by Fielder. No man's land.
It reminds me somewhat of the Kevin Mitchell play years ago. Remember down the line?
Yes, I remember that.
And snagged a fly ball down in the corner with the bare hand.
That was a long time ago.
Long time.
Yeah.
Heck of a play. Rougned Odor 2 for 2. Loves that first pitch and hammers that foul. Drove in a pair of runs in the first inning. It looked like it was going to be a very short day for Porcello. He had to face 8 batters in the first. He surrendered 4 runs on 5 hits. I mean, they were firing it all over the ballpark. But he has not allowed a run since, despite several base runners. 1-1.
Well, he threw him a changeup first time up. He got a base hit. Fastball the next time up, got a base hit. What's he going to do this time? He already threw him a changeup pitch before the fastball. Try it again.
The 1-1 to left field, and there's Brock Holt, who was shaded over anyway, and he puts it away. So despite Porcello allowing his 11th hit, no runs. 5-4 Boston. We are at the midway point. We go to the last half of the 5th inning here on this 4th of July. Great to have you alongside. I'm Dave O'Brien, along with the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, Garrett Austin as well. Red Sox ahead 5-4 over the Texas Rangers. There are 6 left before the All-Star break. This one officially begins the second half of the schedule. All-Star break is never the midway point exactly. It's always a little beyond. Brock Holt is 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. He's also grounded out to first. He is 5 for 10 since returning to the ball club after his concussion. He'll be followed by Shaw and then Leon. And Martinez still out there. High bouncer to the shortstop, glove by Andrus. 1 man away. And Shaw will be next. Bring your company to a Red Sox game this year and enjoy one of Fenway's special pregame spaces that can accommodate as many as 200 guests. For tickets and more information, visit redsox.com/groups. Shaw today with a strikeout and a grounder to third. His average right now is sitting at 264, so that has taken a bit of a hit. 8 homers.
Had a big game the other night with the 5 RBIs, which he's done, what, 3 times this year, 5 RBIs.
The only major leaguer who could say that this year.
Neither pitcher has had a 1-2-3 inning up to this point. 21 hits.
Roth still throwing in their bullpen act. It looks like Martinez is not long for this game. That drifts in there for a strike at 91.
Kind of lucky to only give up 5 runs, don't you think?
Yes.
To this point.
Martinez career high in pitches 112. That one is ripped toward the alley. Nobody there. That's going to bounce up against that bullpen fence. Shaw to second base, and he's there standing up. Beautiful swing on that one.
We'll make that 6 doubles on the day for the Red Sox. Fastball down and in, down below the strike zone, and he goes down there and gets it and rips a ball into the gap past Chu. Once it gets to the wall, easy double there by Travis Shaw.
And Bannister is out of their dugout and marching to the hill. So Martinez gets knocked around, 11 hits, 5 runs. Shaw, the runner at second, is his responsibility, and Martinez will head to the showers. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Roth coming in. We'll be back with more in just a moment at Fenway. Trade presented by Stanley.
You can't get any hotter than Leon has been at the plate. The fastball he gets, he finds the gap in left center field, goes all the way to the wall. Easy double for him. Next time up,
fastball out over the middle of the plate. Hits the ball as far as you can hit a ball without hitting it out of the ballpark. Second double there for Leone.
Stanley, the official tool of the Boston Red Sox, who have a decision to make about a catching spot, but he's not going anywhere.
No.
He's actually lifted his batting average today, which was at .457 coming in. Travis Shaw has just doubled. Leone has 2 doubles. David Ortiz has 2 doubles. Hanley Ramirez has a double. The Red Sox have 11 hits. So does Texas. 108 pitches for Martinez, so he is out of the ball game, and a runner at second belongs to him. Michael Roth coming on now, the left-hander, just brought up from the minor leagues on Sunday. He was 7-3 in the Pacific Coast League with a .266 ERA, so he's pitching very well. Formerly in the big leagues with the Dodgers. And Leone will bat right-handed. And look at a strike. On deck, Mookie Betts. Lots of offense today here at Fenway. And it's only the 5th inning. 0-1. Over the mound, charging Andrus in front of the bag. Has time. Didn't make a great throw, but it's picked up by Profar and down to third Shaw. Let's go to Garen.
Thanks, Obi. I'm here with sailors from the USS Mesa Verde. They are stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and they're here in town for Harbor Fest, and they were actually part of the pregame ceremonies on the field. They're having a great time here at Fenway Park, and we are going to continue the 4th of July celebrations tomorrow with this Stars and Stripe cap giveaway. The first 15,000 fans will be able to receive this cap presented by Stop and Shop. For more information, visit redsox.com/tickets. Guys?
Garen, great job there. I mean, those guys are having a wonderful time. And I love the cap.
Fresh off the boat.
It's a good look. Yeah, fresh off the boat. As Betts takes one down low. Mookie has gone 1 for 3 with a single. Hitting .295 with 17 home runs. He launched one foul down the left field line that they did take a look at to see if it was over the foul pole early in the game. But they ruled it foul nonetheless after the review. There's no challenge on that. It was a crew chief challenge, so John Farrell was able to maintain his challenge. That is the case on those boundary calls. Here comes the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Roth was leading the Pacific Coast League in ERA. Started 12 games with them. I'll tell you what, I'd rather be up here than the Pacific Coast League leading the league. Believe me.
That is a hitter's league, if ever there was one. You get an ERA like that in the PCL, you're slinging it. 93-mile-an-hour fastball low to make it 3-1. Betts is no longer #1 in the American League in runs scored, though. Josh Donaldson has gone by him. 73 runs to 70. It's a category that Mookie has led all the way until the last 24 hours.
Donaldson getting hot again, kind of a streaky guy.
They scored 17 yesterday. 3-1, and he walked him. That's a rarity for Mookie. He reaches base for the second time. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plainridge Park Casino. TC, Jim Rice, Steve Lyons will have highlights from around the big leagues, and they will preview David Price's start tomorrow against the Rangers. It's a big outing for Price.
Yeah, it is. After the last 2. The last one not as bad as the one before. The one in Texas was awful. Couldn't get out of the 3rd inning.
By his own admission.
Right. And he didn't like how he threw last time either. I mean, even though he struck out 10 guys, didn't get any run support, but you expect your ace to shut down Tampa.
1st and 3rd, 2 down for Dustin Pedroia, who's gone 0 for 3. He's hit into a double play, grounded to second, and lined out sharply to right field, hitting right at 300. Shaw at 3rd. Mookie Betts, who just walked for the 22nd time this season, on at 1st. They're thinking he's going to take off.
Yeah, careful over there. It's going to be hard for him to get a read from this guy. Never seen him. And you saw what Chirinos, he can throw. He's got a gun back there.
Bottom of the 5th. Red Sox trying to add to a 5-4 lead. He took a big time hack on a fastball to count 1-1.
Sort of tied him up with the fastball down and in. Petey swinging over the top of that.
Pedroia's next extra base hit will be the 500th of his career. And everybody has been shooting the gap today.
6 doubles. This whole team beyond Ortiz is a doubles machine. Clearly just wear out this ballpark.
And leading the majors in that category, the 1-1. Now a ball and 2 strikes on the Sox second baseman. Xander Bogaerts is on deck. And it looks like he is warming up again after a little bit of a cool spell. Xander has 3 hits today. 3 for 3. He has scored twice.
Stolen base.
1-2. Deep short, through for a base hit. Shaw will score. And the Red Sox add on Dustin Pedroia with his 33rd RBI, and that'll make it 6-4 Boston.
I thought he might throw him a changeup, but he threw him a cutter instead. He was going to pull the ball at this at bat. There's no doubt about it. The first 2 swings, he was kind of coming out of his shoes. He gets the ball down, and he still goes down there and hooks this ball into the hole. Little cutter, wasn't a changeup. He finds the hole, and that's a big run right there. Go ahead, 6-4.
Man, did he go down to get that?
He was going to pull the ball regardless that at bat.
There's a 9-game hitting streak. You know, we saw Mike Trout in the last series, and he has hit the pitch the lowest off the dirt in the majors this season. Just a fraction of an inch off the ground, but this was maybe 4 or 5 inches.
You don't see too many right-handed hitters being such low ball hitters.
Yeah. Bogaerts looking for his 4th hit today, and it's only the 5th inning. Single in the 1st, single in the 3rd, single in the 4th. 3-hit games. Bogaerts with 14 of those. And Desmond has jumped up there in that category today with his 10th. And Lindor of the Cleveland Indians, he is a young star for a good ball club for Terry Francona. Of course, they have lost 2 in a row after their 14-game winning streak. The Indians. Here's the 0-1. Chirinos up to gun, but didn't catch anybody napping. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Got Mookie's attention, man. He went headlong back into the base.
Ortiz on deck. 1st and 2nd for Boston, and a run in. And the 1-1. Hard hit. Knocked down by Beltre. Throws and got him.
No.
Pedroia called out. We'll see if the Red Sox get a challenge on this one. What'd you think, naked eye?
Naked eye, he was safe. I thought as soon as he bobbled that ball, there's no way he's got him at second base. I thought he might go to first. You see the bobble, then the throw. He's coming up.
And calling himself safe.
Right. He's stretching out for this ball too, remember. His front foot hadn't hit the bag. If you look at that. The front foot doesn't hit the bag. The back foot does, the one that's coming up. He may have been out. But my naked eye said he was safe.
Well, the Red Sox are going to challenge. John Farrell wants them to look at it.
Wow. He slowed down. The slide slowed him down, if you think about it.
Pedroia going in feet first, and so they go over to the monitor and they look at it in their replay command center in New York. Now, of course, if they overturn it, the Red Sox will have the bases loaded. A bobble by Beltre, and then he made that off-balance throw.
He started his slide. I thought he was going to be safe, easy. I thought it wasn't even a play. But watch the top foot. It hasn't hit the bag yet. At the same time, it's like, is that conclusive? Problem once again.
You know, the throw has to be inside the glove, not just to the glove. Has to be inside the pocket and under control.
Wow, that is so close.
Mark Ripperger, the second base umpire, made the call. So along with the crew chief, he goes over to get the word. Whoever made the call. And they're calling him out.
Right, not conclusive.
So that's it for the Red Sox. 6-4 Boston. Moment honoring the '86 Red Sox in their 82nd game in 1986. The Red Sox would beat the A's 8-7. Oil Can Boyd picked up his 11th win of the season. We are on to the 6th, and the Sox have a 6-4 lead over Texas after falling behind 4-0 in the first inning. But Porcello has not allowed a run since then. Jurickson Profar, their first baseman, has gone 1 for 2 with a single. He's from Curacao. First made his name in the 2004 Little League World Series in Williamsport, leading Curacao to the championship. He was a shortstop and a pitcher.
A lot of guys from Curacao, huh? Did we just see somebody else from there?
Andrelton Simmons.
Right. What a shortstop he is, huh?
Those two played soccer against each other from the time they were little guys, as Barnes is now loosening up in the bullpen.
If Simmons could hit, boy, he'd be a woo.
Ooh. He already is a platinum glover at shortstop. Up high a ball. On deck Andrus and then Chirino, so it's the bottom third of the order. Pitch number 91 for the right-hander from New Jersey.
Curveball.
To the first baseman, knocking down Hanley. He'll feed Porcello at the bag for the out. One man away. Time for a game break. Brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store, the Boston Red Sox. Here's our man TC. Tom, thank you very much. Rangers Red Sox, game 1 of a 3-game series. There have been 23 hits here today. One of those days at Fenway where the ball has been flying. Not to mention 2 outstanding offenses.
Boy, he's got that nice curveball, especially to a right-handed hitter. He didn't see it all that much. Mediocre Cheese today, but I'll tell you, he's just hanging in there. 4 runs in the first, and here we are in the 6th.
Hot shot. That's a fair ball right on the line. It caroms off the side fence. Holt has to scurry to pick it up. He's going to hold him to a base hit.
Nobody's running on Holt. Nobody.
He's had 2 outfield assists since he returned to the lineup on Friday.
Probably a good idea. I thought when Bogaerts couldn't get to this ball, you see it right down the line. Chalk hits the board right there, and look out. Nobody's running on him. Pulls up.
That is 12 hits for Texas. I mean, Porcello has had very few games where he's given up more than a handful of hits. When you look at it, his season high had been 8 on a handful of occasions. In there for a called strike.
His whole career, he's given up more hits than innings. You know, I mean, just sinker ball guy. No one thinks of him as a strikeout guy. This year he has what, close to, probably got 90 strikeouts this year and a little less than 100 innings, but whatever. But look at that. The 12 hits is glaring.
His pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. I think it's one of the things that has separated Porcello this year is he's allowed fewer hits than innings pitched. This season he's been really stingy.
And his whip is way down because he doesn't walk anybody. Less than 2 walks per 9.
Yep, it's one of the best in the American League. And that'll be outside for a ball. Today they are finding the holes. They've hit some rockets too, but he has survived.
I'll tell you, some of the proudest games I've ever pitched, I've given up 4 or 5 runs in the first inning and made it all the way. Some of the, I mean, I'm more proud of those than a shutout. It takes a lot to hang in there.
He's had several very gutsy performances. Runner goes, and it's popped up and right over our heads. I was looking for a cookie.
I've already got one. Huh? Remember the one that came up here?
Yeah.
It bounced, ricocheted everywhere, and just dropped in on me.
Yeah.
This one's a little above us, but it's got that line. It doesn't have my name on it. That's all there is to it.
Get both hands ready. You look like you're ready to pounce.
Fastball in.
The 1-2.
By you.
Blew it right by him. He struck him out. He gets Chirinos, and they're 2 away. Lexus is making a pledge to strike out hunger, and for every strikeout by a Red Sox pitcher this season, Lexus donates $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Sorry.
Well, he tricked him with the fastball right there, didn't he? I mean, that ball's in the glove. It's like he must have been looking off speed. 89 miles an hour. It looked like 100 when he'd swing and miss.
So 2 down, a man at first base for Chu, who has doubled, struck out, and grounded to second. Red Sox ahead 6-4 in the 6th. And he'll take a strike. Barnes still throwing in the bullpen. Could be the last inning for Rick Porcello, who has not lost at Fenway this season. He is 6-0. And the 1-strike pitch. That misses outside. Chu, the lefty hitter from South Korea, 22 home runs last year.
Get it in there.
The 1-1, and that one right by him at 91. So that is the 12th time this season he's reached 100 pitches. Now, assuming he gets this hitter or gets through this inning unscathed, do you stay with him another inning?
I think they'll go to the bullpen.
1-2. Fouled at the plate. And they'll do it again. Chu is a guy who will strike out frequently. He takes a big swing.
The thing is, if you let him go out there, you're going to yank him if he gives up a hit. I don't like that. You know, I'd rather, especially if you're in the bullpen, you want to come in and clean inning. I think
I think there's that. I also think the guy on deck is a problem for him.
Yes.
Desmond has 3 hits.
You got it.
And he got Barnes ready in the bullpen. This may be his last hitter, period. And Porcello with a 1-2. Runner holding. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Porcello gave up 4 right away in the first inning and none since then. Even though he has given up a bunch of hits since then, he's been able to hold. And the 2-2. He got him. He strikes him out. That's all for Texas. Through 5.5, Red Sox lead it 6-4. NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Red Sox are leading at 6-4 over Texas as we head to the last half of the 6th inning. Big hug there from Carl Willis as Porcello shakes off a bad first inning and then put up zeros the rest of the way.
I mean, that is so impressive. I'll tell you, I can appreciate it more than anybody because I've been there. And you think you just can't give up a hit like you had a no-hitter going. Meanwhile, you're getting handshakes after giving up 12 hits. But that's like hard to do when you shake off an inning like he had in the first and hang around till now.
He has been a model of perseverance.
He really has. A tough kid.
Here's David Ortiz taking one up and in. David with 2 doubles and a fly to left today. Hits are even at 12 here in the 6th inning. Hanley Ramirez and then Jackie Bradley against the left-hander Roth in the 6th. Red Sox are down 4-0 very quickly. They got a run back in the bottom of the 1st and 4 in the 3rd inning off of Nick Martinez, who was knocked out of the game after 4 1/3. The 1-1. High fly to center, but not very deep. And Desmond there to put it away. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets with the best seats at the lowest prices to all games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Treat yourself for someone special by visiting aceticket.com or by calling 1-800-MY-SEATS. Torey Lovullo chatting with Porcello, who could pick up another win, and if he does get it, he'll be 10-2 in the early hours of the second half of the season.
I mean, I tell you, your players on your team respect you just as much for a game like that than if you went out and threw a shutout, because they knew what it took for you to hang in there like that. It's so easy to give in to that. I mean, he got knocked around in the first inning. I didn't think he was going to make it.
I don't think anybody did. Except maybe Porcello, because he's had some outings where he's gotten himself into deep trouble early, but gotten out of it and survived it, kept his team in the game.
Right, and barely survived. Come up with a big punch out here or there. He was emotional when he came off that field, punching out Chu, because he knew he was done. He's proud of himself.
Hanley with a couple of walks and a double today. He fouls that one away. Now, when he came off,
he's getting hugs and everything.
Big hug from Big Poppy.
I mean, everybody is like loving him right now. Guy goes 6 innings, gives up 12 hits, and you're like a star.
It's exactly what the Red Sox pitching staff hopes translates to everybody else.
He came up with that big win in, was it Tampa, right? I mean, that was a huge game for a starter. After Rodriguez got knocked around.
High fly ball left field, driving back Mazara, slams on the brakes, high off the wall. Ramirez churning for second. He is in with the double, his second of the day, on a day for doubles on his 4th of July.
Hanley Ramirez has got it going on. He walked a couple of times and hit 2 doubles. You see this here. I thought this ball had a chance to get out of here. Kind of caught him on the label a little bit. And it does find the wall, because if he hits it like he can, that ball's over everything. But he'll take a double.
7 doubles today for the Red Sox. And a man at second base for Jackie Bradley. So Hanley on base 4 times today. That ties a season high. Those 7 doubles for Boston. Bradley wailing away, and a high fly to left down the line. Mazara looked a little unshort. It falls in fair. And then skips up into the stands. That's going to bring in the run. That'll be a double, and the Red Sox lead it 7-4. Boy, did he look overly cautious down there.
Well, the ball has a tendency to come back down the line. This rookie kid doesn't know that. You know, no opposing players really do. But it goes right there into the darkness a little bit. But he was timid going after that ball to begin with. That ball has a tendency to come back a little bit when it gets down in the corner. Another double, kind of a gift, but we'll take it.
Second RBI today for Jackie Bradley, and his 20th double. Brock Holt trying to keep it moving here now. Red Sox ahead 7-4, and across for a called strike. Red Sox now 14 hits and 8 doubles. Brock Holt has a 2-run homer right off the top of the bullpen fence in the 3rd inning. He's gone 1 for 3. This Red Sox offense once again finding its gear after 10 runs yesterday. 7 and counting here this afternoon, and he'll take a ball outside.
And this is what the Red Sox need. You know, they're home up until the All-Star break. Tampa coming in next. They go on the road to play the Yankees, and they're back home again. And the dreaded road trips that they're staring them in the face at the end of the season. You know, you want to make hay at home.
Well, that's a must when you look at August and September. Here's the 1-1 from Roth, and a strike to the outside. Red Sox in August have a long trip to Los Angeles, Seattle, and back to Los Angeles. Another long one, Baltimore, Detroit, and Tampa Bay. And then in September to Oakland, San Diego, and Toronto. On the infield, charging in Profar. He'll take it himself for the 2nd out. Jackie Bradley down to 3rd. And Travis Shaw will be next.
But you know, it's obvious the Red Sox are a great offensive team, but they're a great offensive team at home. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right? I mean, who could put up the numbers over the course of a season that they do at home? I mean, the doubles that they have, I mean, it's ridiculous. This is the best offensive team at home without a doubt in the big leagues.
Shaw's gone 1 for 3 with a double and a run, and can pick up another RBI here if he can drive in Jackie Bradley, who's 90 feet away. Red Sox ahead 7-4 in the 6th. And 2 down. Shaw for the season hitting 188 against lefties, 288 against right-handers. Roth coming out of their bullpen to relieve Martinez, who went 4 1/3 and gave up 11 hits. Sox have added 3 more against the southpaw.
First 2 pitches really show how difficult it is for him, any left-hander, to hit a left-hander with that little slider. You got to spit on it, but he swung at the last 2.
Here's the 0-2. Sandy Leon is on deck. He has struck again for a pair of doubles today. One and 2 on Shaw.
A little change up.
2-2. The Orioles will play later on tonight against the Dodgers in Los Angeles, and Toronto will be hosting Kansas City. Toronto's just a half game behind the Red Sox in the standings. Sox right now 3 games back.
Baltimore was swinging the bat so well. They went to San Diego, beat them up, and all of a sudden they went to Seattle and they got smoked.
Has a shot toward the alley. Nobody out there. It keeps on flying. It's off the wall. Another run is in. That's going to be a long Fenway single and an RBI for Travis Shaw. And the Red Sox have doubled up Texas 8-4.
Travis finally gets a fastball that he can handle. Had a assortment of breaking balls down and away, and he finally gave him a fastball to hit. Ball up out over the plate. He drives this ball in the gap. We've seen this all day long. Looks like it's going to be a double, but the ball hits the wall and Desmond makes a nice play on it. It's a good thing he didn't. The throw's not on the bag, but it's an RBI nevertheless.
That'll send up Sandy Leon, who's hitting about 1 million. 2 more doubles. He's gone 2 for 3.
He's almost hitting 5 beans.
Yeah, 474.
We're in July. The guy's hitting 474. It's really been impressive. It really has.
Doubled in the second, again in the third. Red Sox have been wearing out the monster today. And that'll be wide for a ball. But it didn't start out that way, did it? Red Sox fell behind 4-0 in the first inning, and it looked like
And then they should have scored in the bottom of the inning. They did 1. They should have got more than that. But he didn't give up anything after that, which was probably the most impressive thing of the day.
Yes. It's a little bit low for ball 3. Red Sox now leading 8-4. They have out hit Texas 15-12. 2 down, and the 3-0 is right down the heart. Mookie Betts waiting on deck. Red Sox have gone doubles crazy today with 8 of them. And a 3-1 with a runner going. And that one is looped into left field. Dropping down for a base hit. Shaw to second. And Sandy Leon has his 3rd hit this afternoon.
Is he hitting 500 yet? Got to be close. Everything is happening for Sandy Leon. Didn't even hit that ball all that hard, but it found the grass in left field. Ball's out of the strike zone. 3-1. It's ball 4. He goes down there and gets it. He wants another hit. He dunks this ball into left field. And the beat goes on for Sandy Leon. He's got it going on.
He is 3 for 4. His 3rd 3-hit game of the season. First and second for Boston. Local Dunkin' Donuts franchises are proud to give back to the communities in which they live and work. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a free Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Today we welcome the Italian Home for Children to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts, committed to the community. So Betts will be the hitter. 1 for 3 with a single and a walk so far today. I think maybe the only upset so far in this one is that Mookie has failed to score a run. It's unusual when the Red Sox have this many hits, 16 hits. Fouls that one away for strike one. He's had an excellent homestand. He's making a run at 300, hitting .295. And again with 17 home runs.
A little too quick on the other one, and he'd have an 18 home runs, and he would have scored a run.
The lefty's 0-1. Across for a called strike. Pedroia would hit next. 2 on and 2 out in the 6th. Roth's 0-2. Chopper on the infield. Andrus goes the short way for the Force to retire the side, and the Red Sox will add a couple of more. On this Independence Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. Up on the Texas Rangers 8-4. They're out hitting them 16-12. Red Sox just getting 2 more in the bottom of the 6th inning, and will give the baseball to Matt Barnes. The right-hander takes over for Rick Porcello. And we say it often with Porcello, the word gutsy comes up with his performances, as he went 6, allowing 4 runs, 3 of those earned on 12 hits. Started ugly, but the way it ended up for him, with a lot of handshakes and hugs, his teammates were very impressed.
Just one of the different ways of being gutsy. Most of the time his gutsy was make a big pitch with the bases loaded, something like that. But this one was recovering after getting your lunch in the 1st inning.
No doubt about that. He wasn't unhittable the rest of the way. He was still getting hit occasionally by Texas, and they wound up with 12 hits. But
that throw by Holt helped him out at the plate, or they would have scored to tie it up in that 1 inning.
Desmond is 3 for 3. with 3 base hits. He's now hitting .323, having an outstanding year for the Rangers. Mazara, their rookie, is next, and then Adrian Beltre, as the Rangers try and chip away at the Red Sox 4-run lead. And a 1-2. Did he hold up? Nope, that's a swing and a miss, and down he goes. He got him, strike 3.
You know, Matt Barnes is known for that big arm, that 98, but he's got a hook off the table. You see it right there. Back-to-back hooks. Second one in the dirt, he couldn't hold up. He's done a nice job for the Red Sox. You know, it goes unnoticed, I think, more than anything else. You expect him. Everybody expects him to be, you know, the guy that, because he does have the big arm, but he's taken a while to find his way. And this year, I think he's found it.
Here's Mazara, who has gone 0 for 3. 3 times he has grounded out to Travis Shaw on the right side of the diamond. Not shifting yet as Shaw stays home, but way off the line at third base. 1 man out, 8-4 Red Sox here in the 7th. Tagged into right. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Oh, it'll get underneath Mookie Betts and roll behind him. So Mazara, who only should have had a base hit, is into second. Line drive that ate up Mookie.
Mookie trying to be aggressive with this. The ball's hit on a rope out there, top spinning. Came up on him. He's trying to play it on one hop, but it just got to him. Kind of weird. He jumped at it. Luckily, it's an 8-4 game. No harm, really.
That's a base hit and an error. And Mazara to second base with Beltre coming up. He has singled 2 times and flied to center. And now with 2,851 career hits. One out, man in scoring position for Texas. They don't need any help to open doors offensively. Beltre with about 1,500 career RBIs and 425 home runs. And a 1-0. He went for another one right there.
That ball is right by him.
98-mile-an-hour fastball. He has been long considered one of the best fielding third basemen of all time, really. Here's the 1-1 from Barnes.
Tried to call timeout, didn't get it.
And a ball, 2-1. A lot of hits here today, 29 for the 2 clubs combined. The Red Sox with 16. And a ways to go yet. The slender right-hander drills in a strike. So that evens the count at 2-2. Beltre has been really good with runners in scoring position, hitting .368. He's always been a really fine clutch hitter. And now here comes Leon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, a runner in scoring position. Tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, we have a recap of today's 4th of July ceremonies from Fenway, plus the latest on Kevin Durant's decision to join the Golden State Warriors. That's tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Barnes ready, and a Yukon product with a 2-2. He got a piece of it.
He slams that bat against his shoe. I think he's going to break an ankle the way he slams it so hard sometimes.
Barnes trying to put him away, And here comes the 2-2 again. With a man at second. Poked foul.
He's just trying to stay alive. All defensive swings there. The 2 foul balls.
Well, this fan had one right at him. Looked like he was going to make a great play, but the bobble on the railing. Oh my. And it's not coming back, Eck. It's not coming back.
I had it.
Had it more than once. Did not spill the beverage though. Once more the 2-2 to Beltre. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fielder on deck. Red Sox ahead 8-4 in the 7th. Rick Porcello went 6. He can pick up the win, which would be his 10th.
Boy, these pitchers, they could take a long time to get a sign.
A lengthy stare in by the righty.
Let's go. Bounce around.
And here comes Leon. I'm with you.
It's 8-4. Bounce around. Pick it up. Got 98 miles an hour. I mean, this is the same at bat. You got catchers coming out 2 times.
Well, have you heard of NESN's new automotive website, Eck? Give it a visit. You can do it right now at NESNfuel.com. Find everything you're looking for in the world of auto racing, car culture, and automotive lifestyle.
Here we go.
And the 3-2. High chop to third. Runner freezes at second, and Shaw gets him. 2 down. Mazara couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, tough at bat there by Beltre to make it go 3-2. Curveball he gets, chops it to third, looks the runner back. Plays made. I guess it works. I mean, you take a long time to deliver. You get in the hitter's head. I don't know. He must have checked the runner 3 times at second base. It's 8-4.
I'm on board, brother.
I don't get it.
Here's Prince Fielder now and a couple of singles. He's also hit into a 6-4-3 double play. There is an overshift around to the right, with Pedroia now to shallow right field, and it's popped up, foul back out of play for strike 1.
If I was on the mound, I wouldn't even look at that guy at second base. I wouldn't even give him one look.
It's a 4-run lead.
It's a 4-run lead. I'm not even glancing at him.
What you're saying is, if you have 98 in your back pocket,
I'm busy like hurrying up to get it done, man.
You want to show that off.
Yes.
Fielder has always hit well at Fenway. .321 with 5 home runs in 22 games at Fenway. It's a real question, though, if he's ever going to return to the kind of hitter that he was when he was a perennial all-star.
I don't know if he's ever going to be that 50 home run guy. I mean, but he got hurt a couple of years ago, and I thought it might be over for him. And I thought, oh my goodness, they are really out of luck after getting rid of Kinsler. And then he came back last year, swung the bat really good.
Yeah, he did all right a season ago. He's not been able to approach those numbers.
Right. 25 home runs last year.
They drove in 98 runs. Here comes the 1-1 with 2 down, and he drops it in there for a strike.
Wow.
Went back to his curveball.
This ball looks up and away, late break. Doesn't look like a strike, but he gets it. See those shadows creeping in. Not going to take long.
Red Sox up 8-4, 7th inning. A man at second base in Mazara. Barnes looking for a strikeout of Fielder. And the 1-2. Did not offer at that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We got to go out and find out what's going on again. Look at this. 3 times we've seen him out to the mound. This is ridiculous.
This game is moving at a
speed of stink.
I was going to say its own pace, but hey, to each his own.
Right.
Hey, it's the 4th of July.
Right.
You know,
where else you going to go? The Esplanade by 8:30, 9 o'clock.
You can go directly
right
from Fenway to the Esplanade. You won't miss a thing. Mazara off second base. Barnes ready. And the 2-2 to Prince Fielder. Went back to the breaking ball, but he missed. Now 3-2.
Got to get the chain right. Don't want to chip a tooth or anything out there.
Here comes the 3-2. With 2 down. High pop up. And Pedroia back and a short right. Says he has it and does. To retire the side, they strand that runner at second base. We're going to keep it here for God Bless America. A 4th of July celebration here at Fenway today. The color, the pageantry on America's birthday. Happening in ballparks all across the United States today. Wonderful flyover and the pregame ceremonies. And so nice to see so many members of America's military here at Fenway in a gorgeous sunshiny afternoon. Red Sox on top 8-4 in the 7th.
Fenway, Oregon. We ask you to please rise. Here to perform God Bless America, please welcome a member of the United States Coast Guard Band who is proud to honor our service members. Please welcome Petty Officer Megan Wykleenget.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America,
Up, Red Sox with an 8-4 lead. And Dustin Pedroia, Xander Bogaerts, and David Ortiz due up here. The left-handers pitch outside for a ball, and Pedroia, who singled in a run his last at bat. He has gone 1 for 4. Red Sox with 16 hits, and with one more they will tie their season high. Really got after Nick Martinez to the tune of 11 hits over 4 1/3 and knocked him out of the ball game. Rick Porcello allowed a dozen over 6, 3 earned runs, and he'll be 10-2 if the Red Sox pick up the win. As that one is fouled away.
You think about Porcello, he's come so far. He got so much heat last year, as you know, because of the big contract. It was difficult for him pitching at home in home games, if you think about it. And then meanwhile, he finally went on the DL, and when he came back, he's really been as good as you can expect.
No doubt. And he's been a rock for this rotation. A strike over the inside corner. And even when he hasn't had the greatest stuff, and today might have been a combination if he wasn't as sharp as he has been, and you're facing an outstanding lineup.
Right. And the thing about it is, where would you be without him? I mean, this.
Yeah.
And Stephen Wright.
High fly ball into left field. That one has a chance to go back there, and it is gone. A home run for Pedroia, and the Red Sox lead it 9-4.
Well, he went into pool mode today, especially off of this left-handed pitcher. Last time up, got a base hit, but it's been a long time, huh? Home run, it's been a month at least.
Yeah, he did not hit one in June, and his 500th career extra base hit. That's a nice way to get it.
Good for him. Fastball up. He loves that ball up. He pulls his hands in a little bit, but that's his pitch. He didn't crush it, but he got enough of it, and it's out of here.
Into the monster seats.
Just enough.
His last home run May 31st against Baltimore.
Eight doubles, 2 home runs. I mean, this is 17 hits.
Xander Bogaerts right in the thick of it with 3 hits today. 2 runs, an RBI, a stolen base.
They got this Texas team right at the right time.
1 ball and 1 strike on Bogaerts. Well, the pitching lined up, Beck, and we talked about this before the game, in the Red Sox favor, even though you're facing a team with the best record in the American League. But obviously Porcello with 9 wins, maybe 10 at the end of the day, certainly looking like that. David Price going tomorrow. He's certainly motivated at 8-5. He's talked about his performance as being unacceptable, trying to get back to who he is. And then Stephen Wright on Wednesday going in 9-5 with a 2.42 ERA.
Right, and tomorrow they're facing Griffin, who really hasn't, pitched more than 5 innings. I mean, he's coming back from an injury. I mean, you're catching these guys when they have a bad rotation. There's no Darvish. You missed Hamels. Stephen Wright wants to come back from that last game he had.
Tapped to third, but a foul ball.
And it's not going to be raining on Wednesday. I mean, that goes into it now, right? I mean,
we talk about Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright, the humidity down in Texas, and then although the humidity might go up here by Wednesday. But like you said, big start tomorrow for David Price.
Well, you really feel it is for this ball club, this point in the season. Now you're into the second half. At least on the schedule, you're beyond the midway point as of today. And for David Price to pitch the way he can, the way he expects to pitch.
When he tells you this is his worst year he's ever had, right? He tells you, he's admitting what he is, and so he's been awful, and he wants to be better. Regardless what happened, did the pressure get to him? I don't know, but remember we talked about velocity, mechanics, and all that. It's just he just hasn't been himself. So you would expect him to turn into himself the second half, right? I mean,
I think he expects that.
Right, and Are you going to need more pitching? Probably. Can you go out there and get yourself a top-notch, rotation guy? It's hard to do. If anything, you could get a bullpen guy a lot easier than you can do that. You don't want to give up all these kids that you talk about, Moncada and Benintendi. I don't know if that's going to. I don't think Dombrowski's going to pull off a doozy here. I don't.
A lot of people do, though.
Do they?
A lot of people, because of Dave Dombrowski's reputation, what he's done in the past. Hot shot, Beltre collects that. It's been written about a lot in the last week that a lot of general managers around baseball thoroughly expect Dave Dombrowski to make that kind of a deal because he's done it consistently throughout his career.
Well, to make that deal, you're going to have to give up something. And it's got to hurt a little bit, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
It's going to have to hurt.
I don't think there's any question about
right.
that. But, from my angle, do you waste this offense? I mean, this offense is a special offense.
No, I don't want to waste it. But you look above you. Baltimore's got no rotation. Toronto has one, but it's not going to be there. They're going to take Sanchez out of there sooner or later and go to the bullpen because he's got too many innings.
Right.
Estrada's got back issues. I mean, R.A. Dickey. I mean, nobody's lights out rotation.
And what you're saying is the division is up for grabs.
Right.
As Ortiz fouls that one away. He's doubled twice. He also flied out on 2 occasions. But
the move was made last year. David Price goes 9-1 with Toronto. That put him over the top.
Yep.
Is there a guy out there to get like that? I mean, and if there is, you're not going to get some Jose Fernandez or something like that. I mean, first of all these teams are in it.
Bases empty, 1 away. Big swing and a miss from Ortiz.
I don't know. I hope they do. I mean, if you could get somebody a 1A or whatever it is, I'm all for it. But you tell me what you got to give up. It's got to be really. It's going to hurt.
It's what the other guy wants.
Yes.
And are you willing to give that? 1-2 from the lefty. Swing and a miss, and down he goes, strike 3. Red Sox leading it 9-4. Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will preview David Price's start against the Rangers. DCU is Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
We'll probably end up talking about Buchholz again at some point, in the next few days, whatever. And who else is out there, that's not an ace? I mean, there's a Hellickson type pitcher that's out there that you can get for short money or whatever. But nothing that really thrills you.
Big cut and a miss here by Hanley, who has 2 doubles and 2 walks today. He's not been retired. There's been talk about guys like Julio Teheran with Atlanta.
Right, but they've won a lot for him too, and I'm not got my hand up for him necessarily.
He did pitch a terrific game against the Red Sox in Atlanta. That was the game where Price had all those strikeouts, his best effort of the season.
And they have the connection with Atlanta because of Wren is the general manager, knows that club so well.
0-1 hammered foul. Someone like a Rich Hill is very intriguing with
right.
that Oakland staff.
He's going somewhere.
You would think.
He's going somewhere. I don't know if it's here. I mean, how do you go and get Rich Hill after you already had him? I don't know.
There's 16.5 games out of first place.
Right.
So they may be willing to deal. The 0-2 to Hanley Ramirez with the bases empty, and the Red Sox ahead by 5 runs here in the 7th.
Those numbers are creeping up for Hanley, hitting .288 right now.
He is not making outs lately. He's getting on virtually every time. Either with a hit or a walk.
He went on a run a couple of years ago with the Dodgers. And Puig just came in to the scene, and so all the attention was to Puig. But he had about a 2-month run, 3-month run where he was as good as anybody, and that was just a couple of years ago.
Boy, Roth has been out there a long time today. Here's his 60th pitch since coming out of the bullpen. And the count moves to 2-2.
This is a damaged staff, the Rangers. I mean, they come in here, it's like they're what? They're in first place by 8 or 9 games.
Yeah, 8.5 game lead over Houston. Houston's been playing pretty well. They've lost a couple in a row, but they really recovered. 2-2. and swung on a missed strike 3. The Red Sox will get the run from Dustin Pedroia's home run. His 500th extra base hit. The Red Sox are up by 5. Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. A happy 4th of July from Fenway Park, and the Red Sox are celebrating so far with a 9-4 lead and 17 hits, and they're going to bring Koji into the ball game. The right-hander tossed a perfect 8th inning in yesterday's win against the Angels, and he will get Odor, Profar, and Andrus here for Texas. Rangers have swung the bats well. They have 13 hits, but the Red Sox with 17. Think Energy powering Fenway, the smart choice to power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today. So it's gone Porcello for 6, and then Matt Barnes for an inning, and now Koji working here in the 8th inning. Red Sox ahead 9-4. Looking to grab game 1 from this excellent Rangers team. That would also even up the season series at 2 games apiece. Odor takes a strike. He has singled in a pair of runs. That was in the 1st inning, when it looked like it may go haywire for the Red Sox, but they have not scored since then. He also singled in the 3rd, and he'll take a ball up high to make it 1-1.
We've seen a lot of fastballs from Uehara the last few appearances after seeing nothing but split fingers, and it's kind of worked out for him. It's amazing how he could put his fastball right on the cusp of this up part of the strike zone. He gets a lot of swings and misses up there. This guy especially, he can't get to that ball upstairs.
15 home runs for Odor, and he pops a foul out of play.
Numbers just don't seem to add up for Uehara. He's pitched, hasn't given up a lot of hits. The punch outs are there. Nothing's changed there. It's just the home run ball. That's what's caught him. The 4.6 ERA is like unheard of with him.
Yeah, way up there by his standards. Moves him back there. Koji has allowed 6 home runs in 31 1/3 innings.
But the league, they're only hitting 207, so the hits are down, but it's 50-50 fastball, split finger.
2-2 coming. High fly left field. Holt back, turning around now, and that's going to get out of here, I believe. Yes, indeed, that's a home run.
He has got some power for a little guy. The other way.
That is his 16th home run. Barely out, bobbled by a fan, but over that ledge and gone.
But a split finger, you stay back. They're all looking for split fingers, and that's a good piece of hitting. To stay back like that and to drive the ball out of the ballpark.
John Farrell came out to the top step, and here's our ledge look. You could tell that ball was out, so no debate on that, no challenge. And Profar, the batter now, as he'll stand in and take a strike. 1 for 3.
You can't blame him for throwing more fastballs. I mean, I bet the 7 home runs he's given up, they've got to be all splitters. Got to be.
Boy, Odor is not a big guy, but he has big power.
Yes, he does. And this kid here swinging hard too. Everybody's trying to leave.
So it's a 9-5 game. Profar with an RBI single in the first inning. He's also flied to left and grounded out. And the 0-2.
This kid's got a big, broad back. It reminds me of, remember Claudell Washington, how big his back was? Because Washington was spread. You could see his name. That's how big his shoulders were.
He needed that.
Yeah, he needed that. Juan Gonzalez. Remember, Juan Gonzalez had huge shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Another Ranger.
Yep.
Huge power. 1-2. They've had some sluggers, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Then once Jose Canseco got down there, they slugged more. I wonder why.
Yeah. There's no wondering on that, Eck.
Yeah, okay.
You played with him.
I had nothing to do with anything.
I know you didn't.
I didn't see anything.
You never saw anything?
I saw nothing.
2-2. Bounding ball. Routine play for Pedroia. But you had your suspicions.
We all did, didn't we?
Yeah.
He told us.
Join Clay and Lindsey Buchholz alongside teammates and celebrities at the Buchholz Benefit Bash this Thursday at the House of Blues. Tom Caron will be the host as country music stars Thompson Square and comedian Josh Wolf performs. Visit ClayBuchholzFoundation.org to get your tickets today and help improve the lives of children in need. So 1 away for Andrus, who wheels away, comes up empty. He's gone 1 for 3 with a single. Those had to be fascinating times, strange times to be around Jose Canseco. Some of those guys.
I didn't want to be around him, to be honest with you.
You did not?
I sort of ducked him all the time. I don't know. Just we didn't see eye to eye. But I tell you what, he was quite a player. Regardless, I mean, I know the PEDs and all that, and but it's the team that we put together was more than anything, but more meaningful.
Managed by Tony La Russa. Played such a vital role in your entire career.
Oh yeah, and I think he changed the game. I really do. And that's why we have what we have. That's why nothing but relief pitchers, you know. I mean, one after another. Now it's gone back to 7, 8, 9. It used to be 8 and 9. Now we're going to go all the way back after, you know, watching what the Yankees do now, right? I mean, that's as good as it gets. Betances, Miller, Chapman.
Chapman thrown 103, 104.
Everybody wants to do it. The game will never be the same. 13-man pitching staffs, whatever.
Yankees right now at 40 and 41. However, here's the 0-2, and he left it up top. Red Sox ahead here 9-5 on a day that has seen Boston wrap out 17 hits and Texas 14. Andrus has one of them with a single in the 6th. Bases empty now and 1 away. Red Sox will have Duop, Bradley, Holt, and Shaw in the last half of the 8th inning. It has tightened up a little bit thanks to the home run by Rougned Odor, who may by the end of the season be noted for more than just the punch of Joey Bats.
But he packs a punch, though, doesn't he? Little 6-incher, boom. That was devastating. It really was. I think anybody that watched that, they wanted to watch it again and again and again. It was unbelievable.
Just kind of sick. But, you know.
I know it's, I don't mean to be, but Jose Baptista was shocked. He couldn't believe it. You know, I'll push you, but don't hit me in the face.
He said, you know, he didn't knock me down, but I got to give him credit. It was a heck of a good punch. That's just outside, barely missing with the split.
But you just don't see it every day.
No.
I mean, you know, that's why it was so shocking.
I'm glad you don't see it every day.
No. And then where did he get? How many games did he get? Probably not enough.
He wound up taking 7.
Okay.
7-game suspension.
He's a good player, this kid. He's got a lot of talent. 22 years old.
2-2. Barely missed again, but it was outside. 3-2. Chirinos on deck. Full count here on Andrus. And now the payoff pitch. That one driven into left center field. That's a gapper. Way out there to the wall. That ricochets back to Jackie Bradley. The throw into second not in time. And Koji getting knocked around here in the 8th inning.
Well, 3-2 pitch. Finally going to look for a fastball. Gives up on that split finger. He gets a fastball middle away, and he drives this ball. Andrus has got little power too. He's not known for his power, but boy, he smokes this ball. Gets to Jackie pretty quickly, but Andrus runs good. Double for him.
They're going to bring Moreland up to hit now. He'll hit for Chirinos. Ross throwing in the bullpen. Let's see if John Farrell makes that move. With 1 out and a man at second. And here he comes.
Yes, he is.
So Koji allowing the home run to Odor and a double by Andrus. And all of a sudden it's not so comfortable for the Red Sox here in the 8th inning. The lead 9-5, and Koji is done. And it'll be Ross coming on. Red Sox make the change, and we'll be back at Fenway on this 4th of July in just a moment. Just for kids who love the game of hockey. Don't miss an all-new episode Thursday at 7:30. Catch up on previous episodes too by visiting bostonbruins.com/Bruins Academy. So Ross coming out of the bullpen, a left-hander, 0-1, 5.26 his earned run average. And they're going to counter that move and bring up the right-hand hitting Rua. So Ryan Rua at 284, good power. He's hit 7 home runs. They've already homered in the inning. Odor with a blast. It just got out into the monster seats. And after one man was out, Andrus smoked a double. And Koji exited for the dugout. And John Farrell has to bring on a new pitcher. And only one away and a man in scoring position now here for Texas. A 9-5 Red Sox lead. Not as comfortable as it was.
Robbie Ross coming off of that horrendous outing against the Angels the other night. The game was out of hand to begin with, but he ended up dropping what a 6 spot on him.
Game finished up by Ryan Lamar, an outfielder. First pitch inside for a ball. And he was dying to talk to you today because he got to close the other night, so to speak.
I know. I was like, what? How do you do it?
He didn't give up any runs.
I know. Never met him before in my life. He's asked me about the 9th inning. I give him credit.
He was like, I got to talk to Eck.
Yeah.
See what he thought of my stuff.
I got nothing to tell you. I give him credit.
Well, he was the only pitcher in the game who did not allow a run for the Red Sox. Ground ball to short. Runner will hold at second, and Bogart slings on to get Rua. And Andrus couldn't leave the bag, and they're 2 down. And top of the order, and Shin-Soo Choo. And this will be a lefty-lefty.
Yeah, put a stop to this rally right here. Get him out of here. Talking about Desmond, Mazara, and Beltre coming up after this.
Chu on the day is grounded to second, struck out, doubled, and also struck out. He was thrown out trying to score in the 4th inning on a peg from Brock Holt out of left field. Made an outstanding play.
I thought he was going to be safe easy because I thought Chu, ground ball left field. I mean, got a decent jump. He didn't run as fast as I thought he was.
First pitch across for strike. He has faced Ross 3 times. He is 1 for 3 against him. We're in the top half of the 8th inning.
Stay with that breaking ball.
Andrus leading at second. And that's a strike. And he has him in the hole 0-2 with a curveball.
Took a couple of shakeoffs to get to this breaking ball, but he flips it over, catches the outside corner.
You go back to that?
Yeah, I would. I'd throw him something nasty hard like that. He's going upstairs. Oh.
High fly ball into left field. Backing up Jackie Bradley, backing up Brock Holt. Holt makes the play right in front of the National League scores. So they settle to the 1 run. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 9-5 Red Sox. There's a high fly ball that went driven deep. Right center on the move. Chu back. It's off the top of the wall. That's gone. That's a home run.
Beautiful thing. And you see who's there to catch it.
Yes, Robbie Ross.
That was an easy one.
And on this 4th of July, the Red Sox have a 9-5 lead over the Texas Rangers. They knock Martinez out, their starter, after 4 1/3. Porcello in line for the win. Bogart's 3 for 5, 2-run homer for Brock Holt. And Jackie Bradley to lead off the last half of the 8th inning against a former South Carolina Gamecocks teammate. These guys won championships together. Roth, the left-hander, and Jackie, who doubled in the 6th inning off him. Brock Holt will be next, and then Travis Shaw. Number of defensive changes here. And we'll get to those in just a moment. For Texas, that spins him around, and it is ball 1. Mazar taking over in right field. Rua remains in the game in left, and Wilson is the new catcher, Bobby Wilson. And the 1-0. Up high.
They're lucky they have this guy Roth to go to, because give them some innings, because that's exactly what they needed. He was going to pitch all these innings regardless, so that bullpen needs a rest.
That'll miss for a ball. The count goes to 3-0 on Bradley. Jackie's also walked with the bases loaded. along with that double in the 6th inning. He is 1 for 3. Last half of the 8th, the Red Sox ahead 9-5. And in for a strike. Do you think we'll see Kimbrel today?
No, I don't. But if it, it's funny, if it's 8-5, he's in, right? Because there's a save. This one run changes everything.
3-1. Sharply hit. Profar will feed the pitcher, and Roth gets there for the out. 1 gone in the 8th. Do you prefer watching videos instead of reading your sports news? Well, be sure to subscribe to NESN on YouTube to keep up with all the news about the Sox, the Bruins, the Patriots, Celtics, and beyond. Visit youtube.com/NESN today.
We don't have that type of closer that goes out there and throws 4 pitches and gets half an inning. Sometimes you go out there and he might, next thing you know, he's got 25 pitches and he's done for a day, whatever. It's just his control hasn't been exactly impeccable. That's the problem with Kimbrel this year. I don't know if it's always been like that, but we haven't seen a guy pinpoint.
Brock Holt ripped a home run in the 3rd inning. He's gone 1 for 4. It was his 4th homer of the season. He takes one inside. On deck will be Travis Shaw. 17 hits for the Red Sox, 15 for Texas. As the Red Sox are closing in on a Game 1 victory over these Rangers. They took the first game of the series in Arlington in very dramatic fashion, coming from behind in the 9th inning to score 4 times, all with 2 out, and shocked the Rangers, only to lose the next 2 games. David Price to go tomorrow. Here's the 2-1. That's across for a called strike. And then Stephen Wright in Game 3. So the Red Sox really liked how the pitching lined up in their favor in this series.
Look at the moth on that kid, huh? A.J. Griffin.
2-2. And in a strike 3 and no debate. So Brock Holt strikes out, 2 away.
A.J. Griffin used to be with the Oakland Athletics there for a while, had arm trouble and found his way to the Texas Rangers.
Where did he grow up?
Probably California.
He did grow up in California.
L.A.?
Yeah. He's a surfer.
He's a surfer. He's got it going on, doesn't he?
Plays a pretty good guitar, they tell us.
Does he?
Yep.
Got a decent curveball, I know that. 6'5", big boy.
Here's Travis Shaw. Travis had a good day with a double and a single. He's driven in a run. He scored a run. He's made a nice recovery from a couple of nights ago. Now hitting .269 with 8 home runs. Bases empty and 2 down in the last half of the 8th. Red Sox ahead 9-5. And he'll lay off a ball outside.
If somebody told you you're going to have Travis Shaw have 46 RBIs at the break, you'd take that, wouldn't you? It's like,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, but we saw him get so hot that he had to cool off at some level. Like you said, he hasn't swung the bat off of left-handed pitchers all that well. Got a double last time up. Excuse me, base hit last time up. Should have been a double. And see this.
Rips that one down the line. And it is gone. Off the foul pole. Almost went through the foul pole. That's his 9th home run. The Red Sox lead it 10-5.
Boy, that's got to feel good right there. That ball was stung. You're talking to it as you go down the line. Stay fair, and it's like boom off the foul pole.
That's about all you had time for.
Yeah,
Stay
true.
fair.
Stay fair, boom. Fastball leaves it up middle, and he just turns on this thing, and it doesn't take long for him to find out. Yes, indeed, that is home run number 9, right off the foul pole. It's got to feel good.
He smoked. That's high off the pole,
yes,
too.
It is.
So the Red Sox again have doubled up Texas. Travis Shaw with a double, a single, and a home run his last 3 at bats. That's sharply hit down the line, and guess who?
Oh my goodness!
Sandy Leon down into the corner. He's heading for second base as it rolls around in front of the American League East standings. That's his 4th hit today.
I think he's over 500 now.
4 for 5.
3 doubles. Hitting 5 beans.
The second time he's had a 4-hit game this season.
It's not just left-handed. He can swing right-handed too. You see him down the line. I mean, he hasn't hit like this since he was in Little League.
19 hits for the Red Sox. That is a season high, and so are the 9 doubles.
He's 20 for 39. Something like 20 for 40. Right on the screws, 500.
We were talking about trades earlier.
Yeah.
One guy the Red Sox can't trade is Sandy Leon.
You can't send him down, that's for sure.
Man, is he hot. Mookie Betts now, and he'll take a strike. Yeah, so some quick math. He is hitting 500.
Right on the money.
Red Sox leave it a 20th hit. Oh. And there's a high deep drive. Way back, and she's gone.
Well, he was going to get a home run any way you look at it. He just waited till his last at bat. Could have been his second 2-run home run, but when he hits it, it's gone. There's no doubt about it.
His 18th, no doubter.
He just sets him off, doesn't he? I mean, some kind of power for a guy his size. 18 home runs. Who knows how many he's going to hit this year.
The Red Sox with their 3rd home run in the last 2 innings, their 4th of the ball game. And they've turned this one into a 12-5 laugher. And Pedroia, who homered in the 7th inning, is 8th of the year.
Well, I'll tell you, we've seen some offense at Fenway Park this homestand.
Red Sox reaching double digits in runs in back-to-back games. There's a lunging liner to center field for a base hit. That's the 3rd hit today for Dustin Pedroia. He has had quite an afternoon too.
And the beat goes on Fenway Park. The numbers the Red Sox are putting up are silly.
Are we seeing a return now all of a sudden to the offensive explosion of April and May for this Red Sox team?
Well, that will fix all of your problems just for the time being, right? Just wear people out.
And 7 players with multiple hits today in this lineup. 21 hits and counting, a new season high. 3 of them by this man, Xander Bogaerts. He's 3 for 5. Mookie Betts with a home run and a single. Dustin Pedroia with 3 hits and a homer. Xander Bogaerts is 3 for 5. David Ortiz with a pair of doubles. Andy Ramirez has been on base 4 times with 2 doubles. Brock Holt with a 2-run homer. Travis Shaw is 3 for 5, and Sandy Leon is 4 for 5. And the 1-1. Broken back ground ball to third. Beltre will gobble that and get him.
Whoa.
And a bat, big piece of it, went flying into the stands.
Way up there.
The Red Sox blow it open and lead it 12-5 on the 4th of July. to victory.
Boy, you're glad that Brock Holt is back. It goes deep here on a slider inside part of the plate, hits the top of the fence, crawls into the bullpen. But more than damage that he did, it was defensively. This is a big play, throwing out Chu here in the 4th inning. Big play of the game, showing off his arm.
Paving the way to victory is brought to you by U.S. Pavement, the nation's leading pavement service provider. Red Sox ahead 12-5. Ross stays on to pitch to Ian Desmond, who has 3 hits today. He's gone 3 for 4. Look at that, 36 hits by the 2 clubs combined. I think you said it in the very first inning. It was a good day to hit. And both teams have found that to be true, but far more for the Red Sox today.
Well, I'll tell you what, Texas just shut it down, though, after the first inning, and they looked like they were just going to wear out Porcello. They did not. They just had 1 run since.
Ross with the 0-2 and blows him away. He strikes him out swinging. 1 away in the 9th. We talk about the 4th of July and some big games at Fenway Park. It's happened before where the Red Sox have had some huge offensive efforts. Go back to July 4, 1948. How about that score? 19-5 over the Athletics. Ted Williams was 0 for 3. He was the only Red Sox without a hit. What are the chances of that? Here's Mazara. He's 1 for 4 with a single.
They score some runs in the summertime at Fenway Park. That's all there is to it.
Called strike. And the 1-1. Comebacker over Ross. Bogart slings and he got him. 2 down.
I didn't think he was going to get him. That was like a 5 hopper up the middle. Once it went over Ross's head, I thought he had no chance, but Bogey showing off his range. He gets to this ball. He's got to get something on it to throw him out. Mazara doesn't run all that well, but just beats him.
Boy, July is starting off better than June, that's for sure, even with the debacle on Saturday. Red Sox are swinging the bats again. And on the verge of a big win here over Texas as Beltre slices that one foul out of play.
Well, you know this club is going to swing the bat. They just are. But when you got a guy like Sandy Leon hitting 9th, as if they need the help deep in the order.
Fine play. Nicely done. 0-2.
I didn't even see that pitch. I don't think he did either.
Beltre steps out. 2 strikes on him. Bases empty. 2 away. 12-5 Red Sox. Exploding here on the 4th of July. He left it low. Game 2 tomorrow evening. That'll be David Price against A.J. Griffin. Red Sox starting to put pressure on Baltimore. Here comes the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back there. 1 strike away from the win. Foul at the plate, and he hangs in there, but barely. Rick Porcello would get the win and improve to 10-2, and also 7-0 at Fenway in 2016. He really persevered today. The 2-2 to Beltre. Fouled off the umpire.
You got all those Navy men hanging out right behind home plate. You don't see that every day.
Pretty good support. 2-2. Hard ground ball, and that's fair. That'll roll all the way down into the corner. Beltre off for a double, and that'll be his 3rd hit today. That comes with 2 down here in the 9th inning. That is 16 hits for Texas.
Well, Beltre, he didn't shut it down. A nice at bat for him right down the line. Here comes another double. Seen a lot of doubles, more for the Red Sox than Texas. The Red Sox have 9 on the day.
That is their 3rd. So they run for Beltre here. That is Brian Holiday to run for Adrian Beltre. Had a good day. 3 for 5. Had a lot of good days here at Fenway when he was a member of the Red Sox. Prince Fielder now. He has 2 singles as he takes ball 1. He's gone 2 for 4. Clubs have combined for 37 hits. But the Red Sox way in front 12-5. Ross trying to pin down that last out. High pop up that may do it. Brock Holt is there. And the Red Sox on this 4th of July explode for 12 on 21 hits, a season high. So TC over the last 2 days, the Red Sox offense has really woken up in a big way to score 22 runs, and they knock off Texas at Fenway.